can't believe another year has come and gone, Kyle.
This might be my favorite episode. I feel like the way a lot of people need massages and things, this is what I need. Bathrobe. Fire.
Check.
Hot cocoa.
Check.
Thanks to our friend Kevin Steffi. And revisiting some of our brightest bits from the year.
Take a sip of this real quick.
Oh, I can see the steam.
Oh, it's a little hot. A little too hot.
Did you put some marshmallows in there?
I did. Yeah, of course. I mean, look, when it's year in review episode day, you go all out.
Sit back and relax. This is going to be a long one, folks, because we think we're really funny.
Okay. And let these next 3 hours dictate the many ways why.
Going back is always a nice treat for me because we always start the year, Steve, with the intention of writing down things as they happen that are very funny. And then we do that for 2 to 4 months. So we are kind of left to our own devices to where we go through show descriptions.
It's a mad scramble.
And I knew
mid to late December.
Yeah. And I knew the second I saw this in the show description, very early in the year of 2022, that it was going to have to be revisited.
Yeah.
Because trips down memory lane, I would argue, are 60% of our podcast. And this is a good one.
Yeah, I remember this event that we're talking about, but I don't really remember us talking about it.
Yes.
At the beginning of the year, we recapped the infamous Dizzy Bat Race from 2010, maybe?
2011.
2011. Here it is.
Boy, I don't know why that just brought this to mind when me mentioning the Dizzy Bat Race. Because you're the only person I know who's done
I've done
a legitimate... I mean, now granted, when you're a kid, you always do stupid stuff like that, where you spin around and see how far you can run, whatever.
I did
You did a legitimate one at the minor league ballpark.
At the minor league ballpark in front of, I don't know, a couple thousand fans.
10 years ago?
Probably about that, yeah.
Steve in his early 20s?
Early 20s. Might have been late teens.
If you get asked this April to go out there, hey, we want to do another, monkey poop night. Get the whole crew out there. The whole gamut.
Yeah.
And we need you to do the Dizzy Bat Race.
So they basically say, we need a clown.
Yes.
Will you be our clown?
Yeah, and we all know the other monkeys way too wealthy to agree to that.
Right.
They're going to be sitting in the box, being waited on. So you're one of the lucky ones. You're going to be called upon by this minor league organization to, and I don't say that disparagingly,
not at all.
Do the Dizzy Bat Race. Late 30s Steve, mid 30s Steve. Do you agree to do the Dizzy Bat Race after having done it once 10 years ago?
Absolutely.
Because you were suckered into headfirst sliding.
Into second.
Into second base.
And I know that a lot of people, you may think like, oh, well, it's dirt. It's sand. It's no big deal. But when you're down on a professional level field, it's not like sandbox sand. It's not like you're at the beach. I mean, it's small pebbles of gravel.
Yeah, it's meant for traction for feet, like for people wearing cleats.
And I was wearing like brown plaid cargo shorts.
And like a pair of Vans.
And a T-shirt that they gave me to wear because it had the sponsor on it, which might have been a XXL. Now, granted, I wasn't in the best shape back then, but the video of this, it looks like...
Is it still out there?
It definitely is, but it looks like I weigh 350 pounds.
We need to post this to our social medias as we talk about it, because I believe I was there that night watching this.
How were you? You were one of the adoring fans.
I was there for the baseball. You bunch of yahoos were interrupting my scouting report on the low A baseball players I was actually there to see.
Right. Okay, I think I might have found the video. Oh, no image, original image no longer available.
So the image is there, but the YouTube video is still available,
Okay, so should we watch this real quick?
I think we should. Do you have the audio pulled up?
Yeah.
Now, do you think back then, 10 years ago, you think your cohorts were swearing on the mics?
I don't know. I don't think so. No, this would have been a family event. No chance.
Do we want to play this for...
other reasons. We'll post the video.
Yeah, we'll post it up.
If you want to watch it, seek it out. It'll be on our social medias. But if you want to just mute it and pull up to the part where you slide.
It doesn't. Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Look at that beefy man.
Look at that head of hair. Because now I feel like I haven't seen you. That's the screen grab.
That is the screen grab. I mean, conservatively,
if you had to guess compared to right now, granted, 10 years ago, and a wife and a child, pound weight difference between that screen grab and right now.
Now,
granted, you said the shirt.
I want to give myself benefit of the doubt and say that the shirt, it's a light colored shirt. It looks like the wind might be catching it. I hope.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks like from that screen grab, looks like a pretty still day.
It looks like.
Now, did you do, and you might not remember this, and now it's just on a still picture, but every time we've had this conversation when it comes to like a leaf blower. If a man holds a leaf blower,
you got to rev it.
He's got to rev it. Steve, you with that baseball bat, I'd be willing to bet you sat there and not full swings, but you took kind of those fake partial swings,
check
like
swing,
you were, check
swing. Well, let's see, yeah.
Whereas I could see Joe,
see,
I could see Joe not knowing what to do with it.
Doing the thing like where you kind of grip.
Yeah.
Look, I'm spinning it.
Did you ask for batting gloves? Maybe
I did not. But look, I remember those brown cargo shorts, the brown plaid cargo shorts. They were not a great look.
Good look. I love them still.
Not a great.
You
look.
still have them? You think?
No, I can't. I guarantee I do not have them.
You think Annette threw them out when you weren't watching?
I'll give myself credit. I'm pretty sure that I got rid of them before.
Now, this might have been, was this like early season? Because Joe's wearing the baggiest of jeans and a long sleeve shirt underneath the XXL t-shirt they gave you.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it. All right, so here we are. We're spinning and
so now,
spinning.
If you've ever been to a baseball game, you know part of the joy about the Daisy Bat race is the guy counting the spins gets distracted.
Exactly.
And he doesn't count to 10 properly.
And then there's the mascot that's running the opposite way that you're spinning to make you all kooky.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, boy, there we go. Oh boy, I'm getting a little wobbly there. The bat's not really staying in the same spot.
Nope, you're struggling.
Yeah.
Now, granted, this is definitely like 360. Oh, Steve's down. I don't remember that.
Oh, I do.
You made it a foot away from the circle,
and then
fell right into the base path.
Yeah, right into the dirt. Okay, so I'm laying on the ground for a minute. Joe's
moving.
Joe's doing that thing where he's taking a really wide turn. Okay,
so Steve, you got your bearings around you.
Did you notice how wide of a turn I took?
Yeah, you hung them.
I mean, I might be 35 feet. I'm closer to the dugout than I am to the base path.
Yeah.
Because this is the base path up here.
Yeah, and so you want to stay close to the dirt, and you are right now. You're at the dugout.
I'm at the little.
You're behind the coach's box.
Yeah, the coach's box. That's what it's called. All right.
Now Joe's on the base path, so he has to come back out. But by you hanging that wide of a turn initially, though, you set yourself up for that barrel at the first base path.
Yeah.
To where you could cut it tight.
Yeah.
Because you had your bearings about you. I'd be comfortable saying halfway down the first base path.
I feel like that. Okay, so at this point, this is when Freebeer was he was the monkey on the mic yelling, "Dive, Steve!"
Yeah, like making it seem like maybe it was close, maybe, or that you needed to do, or hey, just put on a show, and you're the new guy, so you're going to be bullied into doing what you need to do here.
Now, I want you to rate my slide into second base. You being a sportsman.
Yeah. Now, granted, what you're talking about with that gravel, I have played softball for a handful of years, and anybody who has or been on those type of fields and has slid even leg first, it leaves a horrible road rash on your leg, on
terrible.
Your calf.
It's awful.
That does not clear up very quick.
It's awful. Okay, so here I am. There's Joe. Now, Joe was starting at home and running to third, then second.
Yep.
I was starting at home and running from first to second.
Now you can see with this still, you're already rounding that barrel.
Oh yeah.
You're already up.
I'm the flash in the background.
Yeah, you're already up.
The squiggly flash.
And so you're already winning this race by probably 5 feet at this point because you're around the barrel.
More than that because he's not even.
He's not even around the barrel
at third base yet. Okay.
Now, granted, you've got the picture out there warming up. First baseman. They're tired of this already. Again, these are professional athletes drafted by major league organizations, and they're watching a monkey scream on a mic.
And a couple fat guys running around.
And a guy wearing a 3X bank t-shirt with cargo shorts and sandals sprint around his base towards second.
Right, yeah. All right, so here, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm going to rate
this. On a
this.
scale of 1 to 10, I need you to rate my headfirst slide.
Yep. It looks like you slowed down. Okay, so I can't even see the base.
And I'm already...
And you're whining. Your arms are behind you. It's like you're about to take, like if you were a kid who said, I can fly.
It was...
Your arms are where they would start.
It's old school Superman.
Yes.
Like he runs and then swings his arms back.
You're
and then,
you're winding up for this slide.
Yeah, all right. So here we go.
Do you remember, and if I can take you back, do you remember when you decided, and now he's screaming it at you on the microphone.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you said, I'm going to do it? Because I still wouldn't do it.
It was a last minute decision.
Right, and it should
100% last minute decision.
You're not a baseball, star, with a ton of experience, let alone head first sliding.
Right. So here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Okay, the wind up.
The arms.
Okay, the arms are way back. So you're swinging these things.
No one has ever slid like this.
This is like if you were jumping rope in reverse.
That is such an accurate description. So again, I'm still at least 10 feet from the base.
You're not close. You're to the point where, in a comedy movie with Rob Schneider, he would slide and the camera would just show it just so that when it rotated, it would show him 3 feet away, and then someone would walk up to him and tag him on the head.
All right, so at this point, my arms are straight back.
Yeah, I don't even know if I could do that today. Just that motion. I feel like I would hear a shoulder crack.
All right, you ready for the big moment?
Oh!
The crazy thing is, for as early as I started the slide, I kind of just belly flopped on the second base.
So this screen grab right here, that looked like...
All right, we got to see this again at full speed.
First of all, Joe's running. I have no idea how he would consider that any... Whoever, it feels like at that point, whoever taught him how to walk let him down.
Here we go. All right.
So you initiated slide 5 feet from the base, and you ended the way you look, post-coital, sweaty, and you just lay down on your stomach.
I ran up. I ran for about 5 feet with my arms directly behind me, and then I just switched positions and kind of belly flopped and landed directly on the base.
There hasn't been a pin like that since Yokozuna on Lex Luger.
Here we go.
So you ended up, with all of that wind up, you somehow ended up initiating the slide too late.
Right.
And then obviously you're not trained to slide, so I'm not judging that.
Right.
Because, hey, you got to the base. You could have ended up short.
Look, so, I don't see an umpire calling me out.
It's amazing because I would think, the way I see baseball players slide, man, it's so graceful, and they slide over the base, but they keep their hand on it. I look at it, and I watch a replay like, oh, that idiot got his hand off the base. What a loser.
All right, so now the time has come for you. If you want to see it, I'll give you...
Yeah, give me one more.
Here we go. This is full speed. I'm just kind of trotting.
Yeah, you are.
And...
There's no way you didn't end up with sand in your mouth.
Oh,
I saw the way you hit, your head bobbed, and there was...
I forget which elbow it was, but one of my elbows was just raw.
Oh.
It was completely raw from the slide.
Steve, I'm gonna cut you a little slack here. I don't think that's... Now, granted, the way it finished, the way it looks, with, again, you laying like you just had a strong workout on top of the base.
It's so crazy because, like you said, when you see a professional do it,
they
slide, and then they go past the bag, and then they come to a soft stop.
And it's amazing because sometimes they'll stand up with barely dirt, and they'll just brush it off like it just grazed their jersey. But you ended up with a busted elbow on your 3XL bank shirt that you couldn't even take home because it was ripped.
No, they made us give them back.
What?
We didn't even get to keep them.
What kind of poverty organization does that? They shoot those things out of cannons at all those events, and, kids want them. Steve, that is, I'm going to 5.5 out of 10.
Hey, that's not so bad.
No, now listen.
Are you sure?
Hang on.
You sure you want to do 5.5?
Give me one more time. Oh, God, your head. That feels like concussion territory.
I think you're being a bit generous.
But, well, again, the video will be posted on our. We'll send it out on our social medias. Please tell us what you think in terms of rating. If you had to rate Steve's slide into second, his head first slide coming up on the. Does it have the year on that, like in that article there?
Let me see. This looks like it was posted on.
Does not even say.
Does not say. Hold on, I'll be able to figure out.
Yeah, the YouTube video will have it. But anyway, we're well over 5 to 10 years ago at this point.
I think April
2011.
2011, yeah.
So you know what we're coming up on?
The big 11.
The big 11-year anniversary.
Just 3 months away. Do you think they'll let us go out there and
recreate it? Do we need to do a slide off?
Yeah, it's coming 2023, 2020 never, maybe. The big Stephen Kyle slide off.
I don't think that's the only thing you're going to hear today on the Year in Review. That simply never was talked about again.
Yeah, no, never. We are really good. We are number one for loose ends on this episode, on this podcast.
And you couldn't put that more perfectly, Steve, because now is the time where we're going to travel back.
Oh, boy, that's a low blow right there.
To another loose end.
Low blow. I still got a couple days left. I can tie this up into a nice little bow. My deep dive, my venture, my grand experience with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Before we get out of here, and we're about to lose my brother.
Oh, apologies to Robert.
We have a few minutes. We have started the Great Steve Adventure of 2022.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about you having another kid.
No. That's nothing.
That's nothing compared to what we're doing here. And if we play our cards right, you'll be wrapping this adventure up right around the time that you have your second child.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of time for this, so if you miss a week around the birth of your child, not the greatest, but okay. But today we begin. Steve, your adventure through the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
MCU, they call it.
Starting with 2008's Robert Downey Jr. led Iron Man.
Yeah, so what we decided was, I think there are 27 movies. 26, 27 movies?
My very quick Wikipedia check said 27.
Okay.
It's going to be around there. I don't know if that one counted the Spider-Man movies, which have come out, which they are part of the Marvel Universe. So we'll get a final count, but it's around there. Now, anybody who wants to enjoy this, the list is easy to find.
Yeah.
It's in order. And I can tell you for week 2, Steve, you will be watching The Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Which is also from the year 2008.
Big green guy, right?
Starring Edward Norton.
Got
Big
muscles.
angry green guy.
Big muscles.
My
and
son's
green.
favorite.
Okay.
For a minute, which is what kids do.
So what we decided was once a week I would watch one of these movies, and then at the end of the next episode, I'm basically going to give like a 1-minute recap, kind of give my thoughts on it.
Yep. Do we have any fancy production value? Yes.
We have plenty. There are plenty of things that I can get to. Should we just start it? Should I get right to it?
Let's just start it. I can't. I'm always excited for production value, Steve.
All right, so Tony Stark, he runs Stark Industries. What they do is they build bombs and missiles and weapons and everything. Well, he is trying to woo the government into a big contract, so he goes over to the desert to shoot off some missiles and make everybody really impressed. Well, they're really impressed, so they're like, yeah, we're going to buy them. But then, on the way back, he gets kidnapped.
Got a long way to go.
He gets kidnapped, but then the kidnapper puts him in a cave with this doctor who saved his life by turning his heart into this big glowing thing that runs off of a car battery. But the bad guy says, hey, you build us a bomb like the ones you designed, we're going to let you out of here. And he's like, okay. So they give him all the tools, and then he starts to build a bomb, but instead of building a bomb, he builds an Iron Man, and then he blows them all up.
Just like that.
Flies home, and he says, you know something? I don't want to build bombs anymore. I want to do good. Oh, no. So he decides that they're not going to build bombs anymore, but instead they're going to do good stuff. So he builds a better Iron Man and is like, yeah, watch this. Flies back around the world, finds the guy who finds the guy who kidnapped him, and says, ha, I'm here to avenge you or make you pissed at me or something.
Yeah, one of those two.
So he blows all of them up and then flies back home. And then he gets double-crossed by the guy who was like his main confidant.
Obadiah Stone.
Oh, I couldn't remember his name was.
That's why I'm here for you.
I thought it was Bohemian.
Bohemian Steve.
So he finds that Bohemian, he was the one that ordered the hit on Tony Stark with the bad guy around the world. Yeah, crazy, right? So then Bohemian decides to build a bigger Iron Man suit, and then the two Iron Mans fight it out at the end. But guess what? Tony Stark prevails.
Hey.
Mix in a little sexual conflict or sexual uncomfortable nature.
Yeah,
with
there was some definite chemistry.
With
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts, the woman who runs the vagina website, whose name I can't remember.
Gwyneth Paltrow runs the vagina website.
And that is Iron Man.
Now, did you stick around, Steve, for the post-credits scene?
No.
Okay, you need to go back.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I should have told you in advance. No, granted, you're streaming, so you can just fast forward. We're not in the day and age where you need to sit in
Do I got to do that for every one of them?
Most all of them, yeah. There's a post-credit scene that sets up the next movie or the next series. Boy, nail on the head, Steve. Bohemian, double-crossed.
The lady who runs the vagina website.
The lady who runs the vagina
What
website.
is her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow, that's it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. That is the first
That's Iron Man.
in the series of Steve's movie reviews. Maybe we'll up the production a little bit for next time.
Nah.
That is a beautiful...
Did I get it? I got pretty much all the main points.
You got the essence. Yeah. So, Steve...
Maybe I'll have to... I think I'll have to go into less detail in the future.
Well, as you heard the discussion there, we wrapped that up pretty promptly right before Baby Boolin Wall was born.
Yeah. Every single movie was reviewed.
All the shows. Can I get your word on it right now?
No. Just no. Look, when's this episode coming out? The 27th of December. Mm-hmm. We're recording this on the 17th of December. Mm-hmm. So at this point, right now, I still have 2 calendar weeks to wrap up, 6 movies?
Yeah, the rest of WandaVision and 5 or 6 movies.
I got that. No problem.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Just wait till that first episode of 2023.
I'm waiting because I still anticipate the day is going to come where you simply hit the music when I don't expect it. And you're going to have a review for me on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And boy, oh boy, am I excited for that day to come, hopefully, in 2023.
Yeah, obviously. It'll definitely going to put a bow on that this coming year. Years. But now moving on here in the year in review, it wouldn't be this podcast if we didn't discuss some of the greatest athletic feats in the history of our world, in the history of mankind. This was another Olympic year, of course. The Winter Olympics were in
the other hemisphere.
The other hemisphere, indeed. And we discussed them at great length.
Yes.
Great length.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, and sorry to put you on the spot right here.
You got it.
Buddy we talked to last year sometime, friend of the podcast, Greg Meskel.
Yes. Yeah, my old college friend Meskel.
It is Olympic time. Mm-hmm. Have you spoken to him? Do you know, is he over there?
I do not believe he is in Beijing.
It's kind of crazy. I have not...
Where were the Olympics 6 months ago?
Tokyo. Yes,
okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
But that was... I don't know where I pulled that from. Oh, that would have been nice to have another boots on the ground situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're still waiting on those Olympic condoms he promised us.
The bang bed, the bang box.
The bang box.
That was so it was like
the cardboard box. Yeah, that they supposedly slept on.
I love talking to him about that, and we'll get Greg on at some point anyway, because I believe the second season of... He's a play-by-play guy for the fan-controlled football league.
Yes.
We'll talk to him in the next few months before that kicks off again. I don't know why I said he would. I have no idea if he will.
He will.
He might have left here and said, why would I ever talk to those idiots again?
No, he definitely will.
But that just got me thinking. This is... And I'm not an Olympics guy. I think we've talked about that in the years past. I don't think I've turned it on 1 second of our lives this opening weekend.
Well, at this point, because it only started on Friday.
Yeah, so, opening ceremonies were on Friday,
we're not even 2 full days into it at this point. So that's not too surprising. But yeah, for me, if I turn it on at all, if I see anything, it's going to be highlights of whatever the whatever the moment of the day was, or somebody winning gold, or a big crash on the bobsled track, or something like that. It's hard to get into. I remember when I was a kid, I was into it a lot. Used to like watching hockey. I always enjoyed watching bobsled.
Sure.
And the
Jamaica's back in it, by the way.
Jamaica's back in.
Yeah. First time since 1998.
What's the one? Is it skeleton? Where it's basically luge,
oh my God, just
luge,
like
but they're going head first?
Yeah, I always feel like it's just them on one of those cheap mechanic roller boards that you use to get under a car, yet they're going 80 miles an hour on an ice tube.
Yeah. See, here's my plan. Here's my my hot take on the Olympics. That the luge track or the bobsled track, make it a 360-degree cylinder, and if you can manage to go all the way around, you automatic gold.
I got a better idea.
Yeah.
Instead of individually timing them all, NASCAR style.
So they all go at once?
One big ice, half pipe.
But
they all go around in circles, though. You taking your circle idea, I want them to race around this circle.
See, I think that maybe you just take your bobsled track, you make it wide enough for 10 bobsleds. Mm-hmm. But at certain points, you narrow it down so only 2 or 3 can fit through at a time. So that way, you have to. You got to use your brakes. You have to figure out the strategy of getting in front of people, passing people. I think that this is all on the table.
I think the Olympics would benefit from that NASCAR style competition.
Yeah.
To where
put that on the poll. Would the Olympics benefit from NASCAR bobsled?
Because. And I already put on the poll, what should the bobsled track be wide enough for 10 bobsleds?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to watch teams of 4, whatever, go really fast down the track individually. Hey, they're going really fast. Cool.
Yeah.
How much cooler would that be if you've got sparks because they're rubbing each other on the track?
Racing.
Yeah, rubbing's racing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I think we just fixed the Olympics.
We did. I mean, I don't know if they're struggling for viewership or not. But
how did we want to refer to that? Would bobsledding benefit from a little NASCAR?
Or no, would the Olympics benefit from NASCAR bobsled?
That's right. That got me. I mean, we're not Olympics guys. I think a lot of it does have to do with anything we would want to watch is all tape delay because it's in China.
Sure.
So everything happened at 7 in the morning,
right.
Whereas we're watching on delay. And today's day and age, you could just go online and say, "Oh, hey, they lost," or "So and so."
Yeah,
won."
it definitely takes a lot of the majesty out of it, the magic out of it, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and that always makes me think about how the 1980 Lake Placid games with the Miracle on Ice, nobody knew about it.
Nobody knew it until
That's
the
incredible.
Next day or something, or later that day, or because wasn't the game was in the morning? I thought
it may have been, but they waited to televise it. You know.
Yep. Yeah, it was tape delayed, which is crazy.
You know what we have coming up though, Steve?
What do we got?
Got the Olympics in the United States coming.
Yeah,
up.
When? Next year?
They do them every 2, so next year would be a real quick turnaround.
Well, I mean, they just did them 6 months ago.
Well, that's a good point. Point.
And according to the news, this pandemic is nowhere near over, so anything could happen.
Future Olympic sites here. I know they're coming. I just don't know. Okay, so 2024.
All right.
Probably not our time. They're going to be in Paris.
I don't know. I think we could do our first international. Do you think we could get press credentials? Ooh. Like if we really tried, I would think that
we would have to use any name we could in terms of you would have to anything we submitted would have to have the radio show's name or your syndication company on the top in big bold letters, and then I would be kind of size 6 font on the bottom.
And Kyle.
Just thinking for it. But here's the thing. I don't want to talk to Shaun White and everybody. There's been 1 million interviews with Shaun White and the that's the only name I know. The stars of the Olympics.
The Nancy Kerrigan.
Yeah, I mean, no one else to talk to. Greg Louganis. Everybody's already spoken to him. I want to talk
famous bobsledder.
Yeah,
Greg Louganis.
You and I, we need to show up to 2024 in Paris with all of our winter gear and nothing but questions about skiing.
Okay. All right. So I can prep for that. No problem. What do you think it would cost us?
well into the high thousands to do this.
10 grand. Do you think 10 grand would cover it?
You think 10 grand total for the two of us?
For the two of us to go for, I don't know, 6 days.
Okay, let's call it a week.
I think that if we booked now
For 2024?
for 2024, we can probably book a hotel room for.
Can we call France Airlines or Airline Francois, if that's what they go by? And ask them about
Airline Francois.
And ask them about their rates for. I prefer direct from here.
Sure, from our local regional airport here
for August 2024.
Yeah,
and then also ask about the carry-on cost for skis.
So not only are we asking nothing but questions about skis, but we're bringing skis with us.
Yeah, I feel like we need to go over there with the intent to do like jackass style stunts. Hey, they're going to let us go down the ski hill that they go on. It's just a video of you and I falling down a grass hill, right, wearing skis.
Because it's August.
And then we make $20 million at the box office. And then like I run behind you and, put a stick up your butt. And that's Steve and Kyle's Jackass movie. And then for whatever reason, I'm going to throw feces at your face.
Okay.
I think we've got...
Yeah, I think we
got a $1 million movie.
We got a plan. I like it.
But I don't want to talk to those people. To go back to that point. I want to talk to, Jimmy, the guy who shoots the fake bullets, who is the one athlete from Bangladesh. Right? So you watch those opening ceremonies where...
So Jimmy the bullet shooter? Is that the...
No. The fake bullet shooter. Because they're not shooting real bullets, right?
Right, yeah.
What do they shoot with those? Is it just blanks?
What sport is that?
Isn't that where they ski? Well, I'm not back to skiing again. Don't they do one where they jog and then they pull the gun from over their shoulder?
I believe that's the biathlon.
The biathlon!
Where they ski and then they stop to shoot targets.
So that's not a summer game? Do they shoot in the Summer Olympics? There's got to be some type of shooting, right? Shooting sports. Every Summer Olympic game since the birth. Yeah, I'm not dumb. Pretty dumb. I had them skiing and shooting in August in France.
Well, they definitely ski and shoot.
Yeah, the biathlon. Look at that. Oh, nope. Never mind. That's the Winter Olympics.
Oh, maybe the summer version of it is they rollerblade and then shoot.
Yeah. So, yeah, the fruit boot and shoot.
It's going to take me a while to recover from
this. The same streets they go down for the Tour de France. Yet it's just a bunch of guys in tank tops and rollerblades and fake guns strapped over their shoulders.
And again, that's the fruit boot and shoot. Okay.
Whew. But anyway, I want to talk to Jimmy, the Bangladeshi shooter, bullet shooter, who is, again, the only representative from Bangladesh. So when you watch those opening ceremonies, you have, the countries and all the athletes come out at once. So you got the United States with a couple hundred people, and then China a couple hundred people. Mm-hmm. And then they start getting a little smaller. You've got like Canada, there's 15
that's
there.
where White Tonga Man went viral years ago.
Yes, because was he the only one?
He was. I don't know if he was the only one or he was one of the only ones.
Okay.
From Tonga, very obviously a very small contingency from there because it's such a small island nation.
But that's who I want to talk to. I want to get all the dirt from Jimmy the Bangladeshi bullet shooter, 2024 in France. And get all the details from him because he doesn't care, right? He's coming in 14th in the first heat of bullet shooting.
Yep.
And
basically the only reason he's there is to just hang out in the Olympic Village and just plow.
Yes.
Just plow constantly for 2 weeks.
Jimmy the Bangladeshi bullet shooter's got his eyes on, Veronica the New Zealand pole vaulter, who's also in 9th place in Heat 3. Like, no intention of winning.
No.
Just a free trip to France
there
for the winter/summer games.
Why don't they do the fall games? Combine some of them.
Yes, the winter and fall games were like the spring games would be just mud tracking. That's all there is. But anyway, this is coming up. 2028.
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Oh, L.A. L.A.
L.A. So we're skipping Milan Cortina, which I believe is in Spain.
Milan?
Yes.
Isn't that Italy?
No, the coast of Spain then.
I don't think... I feel like Spain is... No, Spain's not landlocked, is it? No, it's got Portugal to the side.
No, they share a border. Yeah. Milan and Spain. They... border country.
Sure, yeah.
2028. I don't know how far in advance we need to do these.
Well, look, I mean, by that point, this podcast is going to be massive. We'll probably be based in L.A.
No question.
To begin with, so we can get all the guests.
Bright lights.
Yeah. Living in Hollyweird.
Yes, that's right. You and I talking celeb dirt 3 days a week.
Oh, we're doing that. We're bumping this up to 3 days.
Yeah, we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Actually, no, we're not working Fridays.
No, we're doing
Monday, Wednesday,
how
Thursday.
about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? So we got 4-day weekends every week.
The Stern schedule?
Yeah. He's onto something with that.
Yeah, so we've got the Hollyweird dirt sheet that we get to, at the 30-minute mark every episode.
Yep.
And I don't know how this would work. Maybe, this is something we can ask. I'm sure Greg doesn't do it directly because he works for NBC Sports and a couple, I believe,
sure.
Right? So I doubt he handles the credentialing himself.
Yeah.
But he might have some insight on how you and I can maybe start the old hamster wheel.
Mm. Maybe he can send us some of his old credentials. We'll just forge some new ones.
No way that's going to fail.
No chance. I can't imagine they change him. It just says Olympics with your face on it.
Yeah, and that's got a cricket.
Yeah.
We can get like an early, 34 pixel image off the internet of what we think the logo might look like. Have her throw it on there, print a couple of Gildans, and
we're in.
And you and I are in business.
Basically, and just put a VIP on there somewhere. Or all access.
Yeah, VIP, but in like fake rock, like the letters on your rock station badges.
Yeah, I think we're
Sir, excuse me, Mr. Olympic, sir. This means backstage. Now, where's Veronica the pole vaulter? I got questions.
That's something else in the queue for 2023, getting Veronica on finally. She's got to be gearing up for 2024 in...
Right. The other hemisphere,
the south
quadrosphere.
Yeah, yeah. That's Olympics, man. That's one thing we know well.
Olympics and dead royals. That's one of the many big ideas that we have on this podcast. And boy, it seems like we do big ideas well. We just don't do big idea execution very well. And that is reflected here perfectly as we decided on the fly to switch our podcast to a zip code podcast.
What are we at today? I think we're at 305.
Hey, 305 till I die,
305.
Steve. That is, welcome to Miami.
Oh, bienvenido a Miami.
Hey, the Magic City.
The city that never sleeps.
The Windy City.
The Big Apple.
Motor City.
Yep. The Electric City.
Should we do that? Should we do every episode now based around the area code?
Okay, so we're at 305. You said
you're confident
is
Miami.
That 305 is
and
definitely
again,
Miami.
I only know that because
of course.
The only radio show and podcast that I listen to is the Dan Le Batard show, which is based out of Miami. Again, the only one that's ever had an impact or meaning in my life. So 305. So now,
oh boy!
But now we need to scramble. Because
I got some big news for next week.
We need to scramble today because now we need to get all these Miami bits ready.
Yeah,
but
don't worry.
Palm trees.
We have nearly 7 full days to prepare for next week's episode, which will be a deep dive.
Okay.
Into the province of Saskatchewan.
Oh.
And then in about another 335 episodes, we'll be back in the province of Saskatchewan.
Oh, good. So they have
for episode 630
Wow.
something, 639. Oh, also 474. Look at that. All right, so
3 times we're going to have Saskatchewan episodes.
but the good thing is you prep once, and then your prep is done. You just save it in a folder. You set a reminder on your phone. Hey, open up the Saskatchewan folder.
Yeah,
And then
that's
we're
right.
good.
Yeah. So we need weekly folders with tidbits and trinkets about the area that we have to cover that week.
Okay, what's 307 then? What are we 2 weeks out from?
Call me ignorant, by the way. I had no idea that Canada used area codes like we did. I thought that was a distinctly United States thing. Did they steal it from us?
I mean, I've seen Trudeau on the news.
If there's one thing
He looks like that guy that, hey, I'm your friend.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, when you get up to go get him a drink, he's stealing cash out of your drawer.
if there's
Stealing
one
the Queen's bucks.
there's one thing I know about the Canucks. Sneaky SOBs.
Maybe put that on the poll. Are the Canucks not the hockey team?
Right. Well, yeah, but I'm just going to phrase it as that because I want people to misinterpret and think that we are talking about the NHL's Vancouver Canucks.
Bunch of sneaky SOBs, if you ask me.
That's how I'm phrased.
So 2 weeks from now, I think we're going to be leaning heavily on maybe some listener interaction for this this new weekly bit that we're doing, where we explore different area codes.
That's right. We're now a geography podcast.
So 2 weeks from now, episode 307, we'll be taking a look at the entire state of Wyoming, one area code.
So Saskatchewan,
Has
not
3.
even in this great free land of the United States, gets 3. Mm-hmm. So there's 40 meese, 40 meese using one area code, 16 goats and a sheep herder using the other area code.
Yeah.
You get the whole state of Wyoming.
Whole thing.
Well, I'm excited for 307. We're all just going to be fighting to get through the Saskatchewan 1 episode.
You excited for 307? Wait till 308.
Oh my gosh. In 3 weeks. Hang on. Oh, man. Please tell me what 309 is. 308, sorry.
Not the whole state.
Okay.
But the western part of Nebraska.
Just the western half.
Western half, yeah.
Is that the one with the corn?
No, it's the one with the corn.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you clarified. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can do a live show coming up in 8 weeks because I know 313 is the city of Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because I know that because they always celebrate, I think, 313 Day.
How about that?
So maybe we go in 8 weeks or 7 weeks, we drive to Detroit and do a live event. What do you think?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, a week after that, we'll be heading to the great state of Illinois for 309 Day, which, of course, celebrates Bloomington, Normal, Peoria, Moline, Rock Island, Perkin, and Galesburg.
Big fan of Rock Island, Illinois. Big fan.
Yep.
A lot of tourism capital of Illinois.
Look, if we have anyone in these area codes, we need you to tune in. We need you to contribute.
Very honestly, if you are in an area code coming up, 6, 7, 8, 9, 310, 311, whatever.
Apologies to anybody who was in the first 305 area codes.
Yep.
That
We missed you.
Yeah.
We have multiple things to do now. We're running this on the fly. We have to update our tags immediately to indicate that we
Area
are now
codes.
a geography podcast.
Specifically area codes.
Yes, just area codes.
So we want your calls, your messages on your favorite area code memories.
So first
Look,
up,
I got an area code memory from when I was a kid. I grew up a 609er, and at some point we changed to an 856.
Oh, how did you adjust?
Midstream.
You can't adjust like that.
Look, I'm here to tell the story.
Did you?
That was the story.
I was riveted from start to finish.
That's why you come here.
I have
Come here for the tales.
so many questions about the ramifications.
I know.
You know?
I know.
Please
ask all of them.
So we've got big episode 306 next week with Saskatchewan. Now, I think the odds of you and I finding somebody that listens in Saskatchewan, probably not great.
Can we, where we upload the podcast, can't you go in and look at, you can pull up a map, right?
Yeah,
and it tells you where
one download in the province of Saskatchewan.
We're on. We have to figure it out.
And I'm assuming that this podcast hosting server that we use will then allow us to get all of the details about this person, like their address,
social security number.
Yep.
Although, do they have social security numbers in Canada?
Whatever they're using to be billed so they can listen to our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Do they do social security numbers in Canada?
I don't know. Is that another? Maybe that's another thing they stole from us.
I feel bad because right now we're blowing past Miami time, and we're hyper focused on Saskatchewan a week in advance.
Apologies to Miami.
Well, anyway, you're a dirty city. Nobody really enjoys you. Anybody who says they do is only there for 2 days at a time.
Yeah. I can't imagine living there.
Area codes, zip codes, they all mean the same thing, right?
Interchangeable.
Nobody knows what any of them are anyway.
No, absolutely no clue. No clue whatsoever.
Well, it was a big year for this podcast and for the host of this podcast, Steve, as your wife more specifically, welcomed another baby into the family.
Yeah, well, I also welcomed that child into the family.
Did you, though? Were you even there?
I was. I was, I was at her side, despite what you may think or try to...
I kind of wish you had treated it like the 60s, where you were just at the bar with and then...
Cigars.
A telegram or a fax came into the bar fax.
Right.
Said, Steve's wife popped out another one. And then you yell, hip, hip, hooray, and you all light cigars.
Yeah, and everyone said, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. That's what they did, right?
Much like that celebration we just had, or talked about, we celebrated that upcoming news very similarly on the podcast here, as instead of talking about, Annette having another baby, you and I decided...
life-changing moment.
We instead decided to rank... pinball, air hockey, knock hockey, and foosball, bachelor pad amenities.
I remember first time around, it was all-encompassing. Wake up in the morning, it's the first thing you think about.
Yeah.
Go to sleep at night, last thing you think about. Mm-hmm. Not so much this time around.
That makes sense. Just don't care, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying, yeah. Couldn't care less. Whatever.
Oh, 3.5 months? That sounds like plenty of time to rip out 3 walls and build a bachelor den. You want a pool table and air hockey, hun?
Oh, that would be great.
I apologize for interrupting. When was the last time you actually wanted to play air hockey? Like you thought, man, you know what would be really fun right now? A game of air hockey.
The last time I wanted to? I don't know.
If you're talking bachelor pad or bachelor den amenities.
Are you going air hockey table?
No, I'm going...
Or pool table?
Here's where I'm going in order, and I'm glad you asked.
We got to put this on the poll.
Yeah, this would be on the poll. Pool table. Here's my number 2. It's a wild card.
Okay, so you're going 1...
I'm going 1 to 3.
From the top, okay.
Foosball. Ping pong.
Boy.
Sorry. Table tennis. I don't know where we're at nowadays.
Is that culturally insensitive now?
It very well might be, right?
It's some kind of slur.
Well, the New Zealand indigenous tribe.
Real upset with the ping pongers.
Then air hockey. I have air hockey bottom tier 2.
Okay, so...
For bachelor pad amenities.
So you did, you listed pool table.
Pool table, I think, gets everybody interested, right?
Yeah, I don't know, though. I feel like pool table, yes, it gets everybody interested, but everyone's used to pool table. Like, if you walk down in this basement and you saw a pool table, you wouldn't be like, oh, my God, you have a pool table?
No, that's a very good point.
It would be, oh, cool, pool table. And chances are you wouldn't want to play, or you'd play one game But if you have air hockey, if you come down in somebody's basement, you're like, whoa, you have an air hockey table? Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Let's play. I feel like that's getting you more, there's more excitement surrounding air hockey. I'm going to go off script here a bit.
Sure. Again, this started with me asking you how your wife's pregnancy is going.
Yeah, whatever. Everything's fine. Have you ever played knock hockey?
No. What is knock hockey? Knock hockey?
Knock-K-N-O-C-K? No, it's that's what I just typed in, but it's actually N-O-K. Okay, knock hockey.
Apologies to another group we probably just offended.
Maybe put that on the poll. Is knock hockey, N-O-K, culturally insensitive?
Yeah, and boy, oh boy. Next week's just going to be an episode of apologies to people who were, 3,000 years ago ancestors killed by the ping pong tribe.
All right, if you could focus your attention up on the Tron, this is knock hockey. Okay. This is a wooden table drawn to look like it is a hockey rink. Mm-hmm. You have a goal on either end. This is a small slit in this end, small slit in the other end. Your goalie is just a small
wooden block,
a small wooden square that
is that into the board
that's diagonally attached to right in front of the goal. Your puck is right here. This little wooden puck. It's roughly the size of a checker, maybe a little bit thicker. And then you have your wooden sticks. You've never played knock hockey?
Never. I've never even seen this.
Now, overall, I know you don't have any perspective. This is probably...
Yeah, how big is that? Because I see the two sticks that they give you, and those look like they would be, essentially 2 hands long, maybe?
I want to say it's maybe 2.5 feet wide by 3.5 feet long.
Okay.
Knock hockey. That I remember playing that when I was a kid.
The only thing I can think of would be, comparative to this, there was no board... And I'm sure you played something similar, just on the ground with mini sticks.
Yeah, of course.
That's the only thing I can think about. But I never knew that that was a thing.
Uh-huh. Huh? Knock hockey. Do you think we need to?
Well,
anyone's gonna? Hey,
I guess when you think about it, they have to make games for poor people too.
This is $60 at Dick's Sporting Goods. This isn't cheap, man.
I mean, I'm looking at this.
I'm going to build one. I'm going to build us a knock hockey table that we can attach to the top of this.
Okay.
And we're going to have a tournament.
If you offered me knock hockey or paper football,
you got to go knock hockey.
I think I'd have to consider.
God, this is so much fun when I was a kid.
When I first saw this, I didn't realize what was part of the board and what was, an extra piece.
Yeah.
That almost looked like one of those puzzles where you get just a little silver ball and you have to shake it to get it where it needs to go.
Now, what you would do to start off the game, you take the puck, obviously, and you put it in the blue dot in the center.
And then you smack your brother in the face so you can win the face off.
Each player takes a stick, and then you do your face off. You go dun 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 dun.
Of course,
dun dun.
Yep.
So you tap the sticks together 3 times, and after the 3rd time, the puck is live.
Because that's almost as sacred. That's roller hockey as well.
Yeah.
That's almost as sacred as the thumb war cadence.
Uh-huh. Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war.
Yeah.
And if you violate that trust by, say, smacking your brother in the face with the stick and just taking the puck...
All right, we have a lot of we got a lot of pictures we need to post this week.
Yeah, listen,
knock hockey. We're posting 2010 Sportscaster Kyle.
That doesn't sound bad. That is, if you have a studio bachelor pad, knock hockey's perfect, right?
But knock hockey now, there's no stand for it or anything.
It's just flat.
You would put it on the table. You'd sit on the ground and play it.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe you do that when you're young, but now you're right though. You can set it.
That sounds terrible. Yeah, it sounds terrible to do it now. Sitting on the floor.
Yeah. Hey, sit on your knees, hunch over, and smack this, was it a puck or a ball?
It's a puck. It's a little wooden, about the size of a checker, maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker, but roughly that size.
I feel like knock hockey is due to suffer the same fate as lawn darts,
where eventually someone's like, "Hey,
oh, you mean it's not going to be popular anymore?"
No, I mean people are going to say, "Hey, should we really be throwing weighted daggers as a game?" Eventually, some parents are going to, some coalition, is going to look and say, "Hey, should we let these two emotionally volatile children use these heavy plastic sticks to smack a wooden disc at each other?"
Man, I had so much fun playing knock hockey. I'm going to pull it up again on the Tron, just so we can get some more detail. Have you noticed in the corners there's little diagonal pieces of wood glued in, so that way the puck wouldn't just die into the corner?
Oh, sure. Well, you got to have some bounce.
Yeah, some crazy carom. Man, I loved this game so much. And the tricky play was when you get the puck, like say you score a goal.
Yeah.
I take the puck and I put it right here next to the little diagonal goalie.
Uh-huh.
And then you put your stick right up against it and you use it like...
Oh, like as a...
You almost like launch it. And if you
kind of like torquing it, right?
Yeah, if you get the angle right, you go boom,
wall into the goal.
Boom.
So how big was this board? Because in my mind, you're on your knees.
Yeah.
So you're each supposed to stay on the opposite side.
I would say it's roughly the size of our countertop here.
So you're not able, and granted, this doesn't really work for the audio audience.
Doesn't matter. Everybody's looking. Everybody's looking up knock hockey right now. NOK hockey.
Much like a hockey rink, there are two blue lines.
Two blue lines.
So are you not like if it's you and Mike is not able to cross your blue line with his stick?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This is
so you can really only compete in the middle.
Yeah, like this is your behind your blue line. Only you're allowed to play the puck there.
Okay.
You got your neutral zone up here, so this is anybody's game, and then behind the blue line on this side. Yeah.
Wow.
This looks like something that you would see nailed to the wall at an Applebee's.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly.
Next to the picture of the 86 championship team.
Yeah,
and roller skates.
And then the plane of a wing or the wing of a plane or all the local accoutrements that make your Applebee's the local Applebee's. I got to tell you, now seeing it.
You want to play?
Oh, I'd absolutely play, Steve.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely play.
I think we get one. $60. You know something? I'm going to build one of these.
So if
I'm going to get official knock hockey regulation specifications.
If Annette were to leave you
next
tomorrow,
week, we're going to be playing.
Oh,
no
way.
I'm not going to commit to that.
I saw this house when I walked in. If you spend 1 second of your next week
something?
Building a knock hockey table, I am confident Annette will be gone by the time I'm here next week.
The best thing about that huge mess upstairs...
Yeah, not yours.
I'm not responsible for any of it.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's great. Town Drunk is doing all the work.
You got some extra mess, though, that you had to move out. So
yeah. We'll have an hour or two of putting furniture back in the rooms and things like that.
I'm putting that on a poll. If Steve spends 1 second building a knock hockey table this week, is Annette gone by the weekend?
Yeah, definitely. So we started talking about whether...
But other than that, Annette doing okay? You guys are good?
Who?
Kid, whatever, everything fine?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah, she's fine. So, yeah, wait. How did we get into knock hockey?
We were talking bachelor pads.
How did we talk about bachelor pads?
We're talking about having kids. That's a genuine mystery for the ages, because I can't piece that one back together, and it was 4 minutes ago.
No, it was longer ago than we just had easily a 15-minute.
I would be curious, though. I think that's a worthy subject to talk about. Your tiers of bachelor pad amenities. So
okay. That's right. Okay, so I think tier 1, I'm going knock hockey.
Oh my god!
I know. Look, I understand that I'm going.
It's nostalgia.
I'm going against the grain.
Yeah,
I'm going knock hockey, then probably air hockey.
What? So you're bumping. Okay, I tell you right now, if I
ping pong, then pool table. What was the other one?
Those were.
But you had one more because
foosball.
Foosball.
I think there's a generational bachelor pad amenity. Like, I think your first place, if you're by yourself, you're going air hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And to a lesser degree, knock hockey.
Right.
Because I think the gentlemen's bachelor pad games would be pool table foosball.
Yeah, definitely pool table.
Ping pong. I forgot about that as
Ping
well.
pong. Yeah, ping pong. Ping pong's up there for me, too.
Ping pong's too big. I know pool table's big,
Yeah,
but you don't need just the space. Like if you have air hockey, you need, 4 feet on either direction if you're doing ping pong.
Yeah.
So you can move around. And if you're in a bachelor pad, say fresh off a divorce because you spent time during the middle of the week building a knock hockey table.
That will never once get used.
You're probably not going to have the space to run a ping pong table. Sorry, table
I know
tennis.
that out loud I'm saying that I don't want to build a knock hockey table. But in my head, I want to build a knock hockey table.
You want to build a knock hockey table?
Yeah. I mean, like, you saw it.
Yeah. I wouldn't pay a penny nor spend a moment of my time.
Yeah, but I look at it. It's one of those things where I look at it and I'm like, that would be simple.
Yeah.
Build that thing in an hour.
Yeah.
A little glue, a little wood.
Well, anyway, Steve's less than
Maybe I
4
can find
months
one.
away from being double daddy-o. And I guess we'll check in a few months, and maybe then we can, recap our favorite lawn furniture instead of talking about, the upcoming family edition.
I mean,
What is your favorite
My
thing?
son is going to love to play knock hockey. This is all for him.
The running theme early on in the year in review is the loose ends this podcast has created. We've now touched on how we've not talked to anybody from a zip code.
Yeah, no.
You have not finished your Marvel Cinematic Universe foray.
Well, I mean, we're getting there.
And I'm here every week, and I have yet to see a homemade knock hockey table.
Yeah, it's funny you say that the theme of the year in review, when you should say the theme of the years in review.
Yeah, the theme of the podcast.
Yeah, because that pretty much happens every year. Pretty routine. The one thing on this podcast, though, that we are good at, that we are known for, is physical health and physical fitness.
I mean,
Just a couple of pillars of strongness. Some say strength.
Is this the only podcast where we both thought we were going to die at one point?
One from a heart, one from a fart. So earlier in the year, you were a little nervous because you were heading to the lady doc to get yourself a physical.
2 years ago, I went to the doctor for standard stuff, physical, whatever.
Yeah.
And because I started doing that after my dad started having heart issues and health issues 10 years ago, I started, hey, time to actually visit the doctor and not just treat this as a massive inconvenience, right?
Start going on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I did the same thing like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I should actually utilize this, this health insurance that I pay so much money for.
And the preventative stuff is all free, and it's a good time to ask if any super vital or time sensitive questions. Hey, I've kind of got this thing on my shoulder. This hurts. This is sore. Anything I can do?
I got this mole.
Yeah, and then I obviously went in when I had my my heart issue to my primary care physician for that because that was the first place I messaged saying, hey, I'm just having some pain here. Yeah. That's where I went first.
When you fell down and went boom.
That's right. And but now it's time for physical, right? So it's been a year and a half. I've seen doctors, right? So it's time for me to go.
But you haven't had the actual physical.
Yeah. And you work at 9 to 5. It's a lot different than when I was out in the field working at 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m., and I'm out of work at
Look, you're corporate Kyle now.
That's right.
Corporate Kyle punching the clock.
So I'm trying to find these times. So there's a little button you can click for this service where you can schedule appointments where you can open it up to the whole office. Okay. For the type of visit you're going for.
So you won't necessarily see your doctor, but you'll see any of the other doctors or like the physician's assistants or something.
Correct. Yeah. So that's what I was looking at. It's the same physical. I don't need doctor whatever to give the standard physical, where they're going to wrap your knee and make sure it bounces back.
Right.
And I don't need that.
So I went to open it up and schedule it, and I opened it up to the office.
By the way, do you feel like you should get a discount for that? If you're not seeing like the doc,
it should be cheaper, right?
Well, if you're not seeing, I think if you're seeing anyone other than your primary,
yeah,
like even if I see another doctor, I don't care. It should be cheaper,
right?
I'm not getting what I paid for.
No, that's hard.
I got a relationship with Doc. What's his name? I don't remember what is my doctor's name? We'll get back to that.
You might, if you're not seeing a full-fledged MD.
Like, they should give me money.
So, again, you schedule the appointment. You walk in, they hand you a 10-ski. You go in, say, back hurts.
Give me the old once-over.
Yeah. Here, top to bottom. Arms over your head. Close your eyes. Say, let me know when you're all done.
Do what you got to do.
Let me know if you need to, if you need me to lift anything or
like shimmy one way or the other.
I can stand on one leg, but not very long. So let's keep that to a limited.
That's right, because you're a foot boo boo.
That's right. So I wasn't even looking. I was looking for appointment times that would work better because I could easily take a longer lunch. It's just it's a headache when you do something in the middle of the day. Throws your whole routine, your schedule off. So I'm looking for something either very early, which doctors' offices aren't typically open at 7 a.m.
Yeah, or sometimes you can get there. Right. Maybe they have like one day a week or once a month or something.
Or like later in the day. So I'm looking for those times. I finally find one, and it's for this.
Wait, aren't you currently? You still working from home?
Oh yeah.
You could skip out, right?
Yeah, sure. Just put like a.
Put a dummy in your seat.
Yeah, or like a PlayStation controller that's vibrating on the mouse to make it look like it's.
Do they have that so they can see if like your mouse hasn't moved? And
I don't know. I really don't.
Huh?
Maybe.
Do you want? Wait a minute. How about this? You give me the quick once over on how to deny mortgages.
Where to click?
Yeah, just show me the deny button.
Yeah.
I'll stop at your house on my way home from work. Schedule your appointment for like 1:00.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to your house at 12:55.
Yeah.
You give me the 2-minute tutorial of how to do your entire job.
Absolutely.
Because it's no doubt simple.
Yeah. And honestly, what do you need to fake it till you make it for 60, 70 minutes?
Deny. Every now and then pick up the phone. Hey, this is Kyle. Denied. Okay, thank you. Because my Kyle impression sounds like you doing your Bobcat impression.
Yeah, that's multi-layered.
And then you go, you get you get your physical. I think this could work, right?
I don't see any way it could fail.
Yeah.
But anyway, I already got the appointment scheduled for a time that's convenient.
It's a shame. You should have. Next time, okay? Next time.
I can't believe I didn't think of the idea of having you rush over on your way home from work.
Next time you let me know.
I will. You're number 1 on the speed dial. Speed dial used anymore?
No, definitely not.
So last time someone used a speed dial.
Even in my phone, you can assign favorites.
It's useless.
Which is basically the
most recent
cell phone equivalent of speed dial.
Yeah. So I have this appointment Friday that I guess I didn't understand until I looked for they send an email with a week notice saying, hey, your appointment's next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time in my life that I'm aware of, age 35, Steve.
Yeah. Early 30s. Late 20s.
Late 20s.
Apologies. Late 20s.
I'll be going to see a female doctor or nurse practitioner.
You're going to a chick doc.
Lady doc. And that's how you walk in to say hi, right?
Yeah.
Much like Bugs Bunny.
I think they prefer gal doc.
Oh, that's right. Chick doc. Much like Bugs Bunny.
Right.
That's how you say hello to anybody in that profession. What's up, doc?
Yeah. But you have to do it. There has to be some kind of sound that sounds like "Ooga," and then your eyes have to bulge out of your head and turn into hearts.
This has to be
then spring back.
I want to bring this thing back to like the 60s.
Right.
Where again I'm walking in with a cigarette. Hey, lady doc.
Let's get down to brass tacks here, shall we?
Here's what you're going to do. You're going to fill out this paperwork, say that I'm A-OK, and I can take it back to my employer. So stamp whatever you got to stamp, and let's get on with this. Is that how it worked back then?
Must have been, right? Put the cigarette out on the table with all the tools.
Yeah.
Give a couple winks to the lady doc to insinuate, like, hey, I'm about to drop my trousers.
But you're smoking Kent's because that's what doctors, 9 out of 10 doctors approve.
Right. Full suit when you walk in to show that you're a businessman.
Brown suit because you're a businessman.
I got to. I shouldn't say nervous is the word, but this
nervous
is
about.
It's just different, right?
Obviously,
it's a vulnerable position.
Everything is in jest.
Yeah, but it's a vulnerable position, right?
Yeah.
It's you alone with every last piece of your insecurity that you have on your body, and then you're about to show it to a female doctor.
Do you know for a fact that it's that kind of physical? Because I had a physical back in the late summer, early fall.
Yeah,
and it wasn't the big kahuna, the full Monty.
No.
It was just a tap the rubber hammer on my knees, check my eyes, check my ears.
So did you maybe sign up for like the sports physical that like 15-year-olds are getting so they can play baseball?
Yeah, they thought that I told them I was trying out for JV tennis.
Did you walk in with a backward hat on with a poof of your hair sticking out the front? Like cut off jean shorts?
I looked like the Steve Buscemi meme.
That's right.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Yeah, you kicked up your longboard on the way in the front door. Like, hey, this cool cat's here for his sports physical.
Yeah.
To your question, I don't know.
I don't know if they'll do that, like the old hernia check or whatever it is.
I bet they do. I'll say this: I haven't had a physical, however many that's been, 10 to 15 since I've been teenager or an adult, and I remember having physicals. They've all had that hernia check, the cough check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at my last doctor, I got probably 2 or 3 physicals there.
Okay.
And there was. So I fully expected it when I changed doctors last year. Started at my new doctor, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
And then it just, it didn't come up. So I don't know if...
It's not, I shouldn't say it's a fear. It's not a fear. It is what it is. I don't really care. I'm a 35-year-old man who knows every bit of what there isn't to love about me. Okay? But it's
very, very self-aware.
Yeah, but it's still that last bastion of you having that safety blanket of your coat, your shirt, your pants, whatever it may be, and not having to openly talk about, I am having groin pain or I'm having whatever.
Right.
That it's not an easy discussion to have, right?
Yeah.
So what
do you do?
Have you ever been to a lady doc? Not a specialist, because we're talking,
like
ear, nose, throat doctor.
So we're talking
whatever.
Primary.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, God, for 6 years that I lived here, I didn't even have a doctor. I didn't go to the doctor for
you're a young, healthy man.
many, many years.
Now you're mid-30s, early 30s?
30s, yep.
And
staring down the barrel at 41 in about a month and a half.
Getting back on the doctor horse. But listen, I'll keep you up to date next week. Maybe I'll put a earbud in, call you during it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you got to respect my time because I'm going to be clicking the deny button the whole time.
That's right. That's right. You got that 75-minute shift.
Yeah.
Over there.
Am I getting paid for that, by the way?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Maybe a little stipend. Do I get benefits
for that hour
while filling in?
Yeah, you should be ordering glasses.
Like if I trip down the steps or something.
Yeah. I'm going to get invoices from insurance that like someone ordered Invisalign, non-prescription sunglasses and stuff.
Now, how does that work? Serious question. Since you are working from home.
Yeah.
How would a workman's comp situation work out? Like if you trip and fall down your steps. Mm-hmm. Remember there was a news story a couple of months ago about a woman, I think she was in England, working from home, woke up, was going down to her home office because she was instructed to work from home, tripped and fell down the steps, and she was granted workman's comp because that was technically an on-the-job injury.
I'd be curious because I could still, hurt myself or not, injury, whatever, I would still be able to work because I'm still sitting at home. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
but
while the
is,
injury happened,
but you're not.
But
you're not sitting at home because you want to be. You would love to be back in the office.
Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was being at that point, hypothetically, forced to stay at home.
Yeah.
You know, and
Hey, look, how about this? Okay, so next week, I stop by your house. Look, again, this is just us. You go to your appointment. I sit there, hit the deny button for an hour or so. You get home. When you walk in the door, I'll run up the steps and kick you in the back, right down the steps.
Okay. And listen, I've got a history of clumsiness.
And then, no. You don't have a history of clumsiness. You are a perfectly stable walking person.
Okay.
I kick you down the steps as hard as I possibly can. Probably going to have to break a couple bones as you bounce down the steps.
This feels more
Look,
aggressive.
you're going to thank me. You're going to thank me in the end. Okay. And then, so that way there's the paper trail. They're going to say, well, I wonder if he was really working. Yeah. Well, look at that.
Yeah.
He's been denying for the last hour.
Right. How should we explain the boot print in the small of my back?
You know something? We'll wait till the swelling goes down.
Okay, so now I just need to deal with, again, in your mind, a couple broken bones.
Multiple.
Until the swelling goes down.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
For this workers' compensation claim.
Make sure that you're carrying a box of work-related files.
Yeah. Papers. Yeah. Pencils. Staplers. An extra computer screen.
Yeah.
And then again, I'm just going
too much, though. Not too much, because they don't. Then they'll start victim blaming and saying, well, you shouldn't have been carrying that in the first place.
Yeah. And I'm not there to be slut-shamed.
I think we got this all figured out.
Okay. So, again, I just need to carry a box, not too heavy, work stuff.
Work-related, yeah.
Not expect...
Maybe your big denied stamp.
That's right.
If you can put that in the box.
Not expect a boot in the back.
Swift kick.
As I go launching down the stairs.
Yeah, the more, I mean, if you can kind of put a little spring in that first step so you actually launch.
Yeah, almost like, and this is for a smaller audience, but the way that The Rock used to take the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
Where he would really jump into the air.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That's me being booted down the steps.
If you're up for it.
Well, I mean, the way you describe it, where I only have to deal with these broken bones until my swelling goes down.
Shouldn't be more than 8 to 10 hours.
And I'll have to work through that?
Well, no, you have to not work through that.
Okay.
So that way they're going to see that your mouse hasn't been moving. They're going to wonder what's up.
Yeah, is everybody okay?
And then you'll be just feet away from the computer or the phone.
Yeah, me struggling, screaming in agony.
Yeah.
But again, just 9 hours away from that swelling maybe going down to where I can have my now multiple broken bones addressed.
Maybe you could wear some kind of padding.
That's not a bad idea.
Just on your back, though, so the boot impression doesn't...
Okay, I was thinking my head as I go face first.
No, head injuries, they're the big money makers.
Head injuries are the big kahunas. That'll be...
Yeah, our head injuries, the big kahunas.
Yet again, another loose end. Steve did not press the deny button for an hour.
No.
Did not kick me in the back and down the steps.
Not for lack of trying. Man, that is one thing that I have wanted to do.
Of the cockamamie plans we've had on this podcast,
that's one of them.
That's on a list. The boot in the back down the stairs is among our ideas.
Do you think that having a son has changed you at all, Kyle?
No question.
Absolutely, right?
No question.
Makes you prioritize things a little bit differently in your life. Makes you like things that you never thought you'd like before. Like in my case, I'm a Halloween guy now.
Yes.
I like Halloween.
It makes you celebrate and do things you have never done before.
Exactly. I'm a Christmas lights guy.
Yeah.
I love putting them up now. Another holiday I never thought that I was so into, Earth Day.
I wanted to also ask because there's things you have to do differently as a parent and as things you didn't care about 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But hey, yesterday was Earth Day. Did you observe with
with your daughter? Did you go pick up some trash? Did you maybe plant a few trees?
My CO2 emissions yesterday were probably higher than they are
You
most
were
days.
on an airplane.
I was on an airplane. Multiple cars.
Sorry, it was Friday, but the point remains.
Oh. Well, then Friday. I didn't fly on an airplane Friday.
Hey!
Happy Earth Day. Happy Earth Day to everybody. I did not celebrate this year because I was on the road. We had a big celebration planned, obviously.
Obviously, you probably had gifts planned.
Yes,
from Earthman. Earthman dropping off Earth gifts for Evelyn.
All right, Earthman. We need that in the merch store.
Was this the one where in school, and maybe it was different over in the East Coast, did they give you pine trees to plant?
I feel like I remember doing that when I was in elementary school.
Am I mixing this up with another crappy holiday, though?
Maybe Arbor Day.
That's what it is. You're right. Okay. So
I know. I remember planting trees for something.
Okay. That has to have been Arbor Day.
I think I still remember where they were planted. I wonder if they're still there or if they've been bulldozed for like a condo complex.
They gave us ones in bags to take home.
Oh, so you got to plant it in your yard.
Yeah.
And now it's...
My folks have a pine tree from one of our...
How big is it?
Right now, it's probably 30 feet high.
Whoa.
I mean, this was however many years ago, when I was in my... not in my late 20s.
It's like a big...
Full size. Yeah, my dad is... it's in my parents' house, obviously, because that's where I lived. And... to the point where he had to mow underneath it, had to do the trimming to where cut all the branches up
and it
to like
started
6
out
foot.
as just a little sapling.
Just a little baby tree.
Ooh.
So I kind of did my Earth Day part 25 years ago.
Right, yeah.
And I'm really resting on those laurels. I got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed you didn't spread the word of Earthman to your daughter on this Earth Day.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It's going to be 2 days late. But after we're done recording this, I'm going to take her outside. Because, the back part of our yard has a bunch of trees in it.
Yeah, a bunch of trees and possibly still garbage. We're not 2 weeks removed from finding a presumed rubber washer in Toby's belly.
Yeah.
We are, he has carried up an exercise bike, I believe you told me.
Yep.
Shingles.
Pieces of the old deck.
Yep. We're steps away from a human body or a bone at some point.
All right, so in celebration of Earth Day, today my daughter and I will go out in the backyard, walk amongst the trees. We'll put little ribbons around them as a marker of the ones I'm going to cut down. Because there are too many of them, and a lot of them are struggling and dead. So that way we'll be able to get more of the sun, to replenish the earth with light and warmth.
Did not see that coming. That is a real heel turn. And Earthman now has his nemesis. And his name is Steve.
It's Chainsaw Steve.
Chainsaw Steve. You're just a blatant ripoff of like Jason from Friday the 13th wearing one of those stupid masks.
And I'll just have a bike helmet.
A bike helmet. And again, your standard outfit. The federal boob inspector shirt, Crocs and sweatpants, and you are Earthman's nemesis, Chainsaw Steve.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay, you know what? They're happy to have your contributions starting in a few hours.
Well, I bought a chainsaw back in the fall. I'm yet to use it yet.
Can I come over and just watch you use it?
Absolutely.
Because I can't.
Why not?
It would make my defibrillator shock my heart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it would think you're having a heart attack?
Right. So if it's too close to my body, the chainsaw could replicate the rhythm that once sent me into unconsciousness and near death in the hospital. And it could replicate that. So same thing as you'll never see me jackhammering, Steve. I cannot use a jackhammer.
So what you're saying is, if I start a chainsaw around you, you're going to croak.
No, I would have to hold it. And I think it would have to be close enough.
Okay. So what you're saying is, if I start a chainsaw and then toss it to you,
and then I'm forced with either death
or catching it, and then possible death, I would have to choose.
Yeah. What do you choose?
Boy, this Chainsaw Steve is a real dick.
Look, Chainsaw Steve is out for blood.
Well, I mean, obviously, Steve, in that I would choose possible not death after being shocked, rather than certain death of a chainsaw blade rotating while it comes flying at me.
Well, this is a first, at least for this episode. That is one loose end that has been tied up.
In a neat little bow. Those trees are gone.
Yeah, the trees and the little saplings and the branches and everything that I had talked about in that segment. I mean, it took another 7 months.
Why did
7 months.
Earth Day? I just mixed up Earth Day with Labor Day. I thought this was in September this happened.
No, Earth Day notoriously is
April.
April it is.
We all know it. April, the Earth Day month.
Yeah. I took out those the saplings, the branches, rented a big shredder of some kind. All gone. Yard's clean.
Wow.
It's looking better than it has in years.
Well, I'm glad you're able to share that with, again, your daughter, who I'm sure was thrilled to celebrate Earth Day, taking down trees.
Right. That's what Mother Earth would want.
And you mentioned, before that segment there, becoming a different person after becoming a parent.
Yeah, definitely. Better man because of it.
And boy, oh boy, you were spot on. Because I distinctly remembered, and this makes me laugh, overhearing this when I pulled it, you having to bring home gifts for Evelyn from your travels related to the side gig. But as typical, Steve, it couldn't just be get your daughter a gift. You had to get your daughter the shittiest gift.
So I wanted to tell you about how now since I travel a little bit for work.
Yeah.
I think I made a big mistake the first time I traveled this year for work. That was going to Albany, New York. And now that my daughter is about 2.5, she notices, she knows when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because we FaceTime and she'll always say, "Where are you, Dad? Yep. Where are you?" And
and probably her stupid little kid voice, right?
Oh, God.
Just so dumb.
So dumb. So we came back from that one show, and I had brought something back for her. I forget what it was, but it was just like this little tchotchke thing. Mm-hmm. And then we went to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. Somebody had given me a little tiny stuffed teddy bear that said Scranton on it. And I was like,
perfect.
My God, my daughter is going to love this. They gave me 2 of them.
Oh, perfect.
One for Evelyn, one for soon-to-be baby boy.
He's not going to know what to do with that thing.
No clue.
Okay.
No clue.
It's dumb, you say
Kids,
Evelyn, it's so dumb.
Not smart. So I give the bear, or no, I'm sorry, it was a rabbit, because it's this little tie-dye rabbit. Okay. Gave it to Evelyn, and she loves it.
Good.
That's Hoppy. That's her friend Hoppy.
Perfect. Love it when they get names. That means that they matter to them.
So last week, I was traveling back from Portland, Maine. Mm-hmm. We had a brief, maybe a 45-minute to an hour layover in Detroit. And this is 7 o'clock Saturday morning. And I just texted Annette, "Hey, in Detroit, should be home in an hour and a half or so. How's everything going back there?" Mm-hmm. She replies, "Everything's good." And then she said, "Oh, by the way, last night, completely unprompted, Evelyn said to her, 'What do you think Dada's going to bring me home today or tomorrow?'" I was like, oh, boy, I guess this precedent has been set.
Okay, so now you're left. When you're flying, you're left probably at airports going, "Oh, God, oh, geez, what am I paying for from Flint?"
So don't worry. I stopped into the great local gift shop, Hudson News.
Oh, boy, do they do local right.
I found her the most local gift to Portland, Maine that you can find in Detroit.
Of course.
And that was a mini Delta airplane.
Beautiful. As far as she knows, you got that thing on the airplane.
I mean, you push the button, it makes airplane sounds. You pull it back, it flies across the floor. Wonderful. She absolutely loved it. So yesterday, we're about 10 minutes away from leaving the casino in Harris, Michigan.
Yeah, and I don't want any misinterpretation that you're not being diligent and, not thinking about your daughter or family. You're up there for work.
Yeah.
And this was an especially shortened work visit.
Yeah, this was a quick one. We drove 12 hours for about 5 hours of work.
And I don't know that Harris has a visitor center where you could then get a Harris, Michigan gift.
Well, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're absolutely wrong. Because all I did was walk to the gift shop there at the Island Resort and Casino.
Nice place?
Very nice place.
I love a casino.
I love a casino. Very, very. We already have plans to go back up there as a family.
To the casino?
They have indoor water park.
Oh, Evelyn's going to love it.
Golf course.
Shut up, kid.
Trying to win back the money of your college that I lost.
Daddy thought for sure it was going to be black on roulette this time.
But what we're thinking is we get some other friends with some kids. You want to make a trip up there? They got a golf course. We go out and golf.
So how far away was this gift shop then that you had to get to?
I'm going to put you down as a maybe. So,
pencil me in, but like a real light pencil. You know, where the lead's barely out, but you don't have a sharpener nearby.
Right.
So you really got to jam on it just to get a shade.
You get that real thick line.
Like a real dumb person's pencil.
So
a thick pencil's a dumb person's pencil.
So I had about 15 minutes. I was waiting for some work to be finished up. I was like, I'm going to run to the gift shop real quick. Ran to the gift shop, got myself a little bag of trail mix, and then I started perusing the gift section because I'm now a guy who has to bring back his kid a gift from everywhere he goes.
I hope you came home with like a deck of table-used cards because they sell those. Great Casino.
Yeah, with like a hole punched in them.
Yep, to show that they're not in use. Or a commemorative poker chip with like a picture of the casino on it.
No, it is nothing gambling related. But I want you to give like an honest guess as to what the lamest gift
from a casino
could be. I'll even give you a hint. There's one in this room right now.
Oh no, you did not get her a bucket of tea. I hope. I swear to God,
I did not get her a bucket of tea.
I'm still trying to decide if that was a gift or if Jeff Green just hates us.
All right, so look around the room. Think of the lamest thing.
Yeah, well, I know you're not talking about the USPS diecast car.
No.
I know for a fact you're not talking about the 1999 Purple Plymouth Prowler. I'd be shocked if you bought her 2 dreidels.
Nope, no dreidels.
And I know they don't sell Larry Ferrari cassette tapes anywhere. That Podconi is personalized. She did not go to the Cheers bar. She wouldn't be welcomed.
No.
I see a lanyard with a radio show pass, but you would have... Steve, did you get her a koozie?
No.
Because we still have some...
You are in the realm, though.
Okay.
You are close.
Okay. Did you get her a sticker?
I did not get her a sticker.
Okay. She probably would have really liked a sticker. I know they don't sell awards. Not for the Throat Goblin Champions.
I can tell you where you're looking.
Is wrong?
Very cold.
Okay. I mean, because
still cold.
You wouldn't buy York peppermint patties
still
for
cold.
her. You would buy them for her.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah. Still cold.
I don't think the Island Resort Casino's near the beaches of Iwo Jima. So
maybe angle your eyes down a bit.
Definitely not Cheers. Did you get her a cell phone stand? Did you get her a coaster?
Yes. $3.99.
I honestly I saw them, and I didn't even think of that as a gift. I think of a coaster as more of a practical use item.
Exactly. It's
than
not
a gift.
It's not a gift. And let me tell you, she freaking loves it. She carries it around. My coaster. So, I don't know why. I don't know if Reed is like this or any other kids are like this, but she has... Anytime we eat a meal at the table, she wants as many cups in front of her as possible.
Steve, we have a fridge right now with at least 4 different drinks. A Gatorade, a flavored water, a chocolate milk, and typically an apple juice, something like that.
Yeah.
All opened, and it's just a matter of what am I going to dig into today?
So it's good to hear that because now I know that she's not weirdly obsessed with cups for some reason.
Right.
So I go over and they have like the coffee mug area and there are a couple like little kids kind of sippy cup looking things. And I found one that I was like, oh, she would love this. I forget what it had on it, but for whatever reason, loves cups. And I could have brought her any cup and she would have absolutely loved it. I flip it over. Price tag is $34.99. And I was like, not a chance I'm getting her this. I love my daughter, but I don't want a million cups.
Yeah. There's a limit.
It's already like when we open up the cabinet where all of her stuff is, it just falls out in a pile. So I thought, well, what's the next best thing to a cup? The thing that you set your cup on.
Were there any other finalists as you're looking around? And obviously, listen, this doesn't need to be a big thing, so I don't think anybody who's willingly going to chastise you for not wanting to spend more money. Well, a $35 cup for a child is absurd. Also, she's 3.
Right. So, I was looking for like keychain, and they didn't have any. So I thought $3.99 for the cork coaster with the silhouette of the Upper Peninsula that says Michigan's better half. I thought, this is perfect. So I brought that home, presented it to her at dinner last night, and she was very happy.
Was she asking when you got home?
No, but I knew that the expectation was there. And it's all my fault because I set the precedent of bringing her home something like the first 2 trips. And then Annette is kind of in my ear like, well, because her dad did a ton of traveling for work when she was a kid. And she said that she always remembers him coming home and like being really excited because he would travel all over the world with the company he worked with. Right. So it wasn't like he was going to Toledo for 3 days and he'd bring her back a pencil. Like he'd bring her back cool stuff from around the world. Right. So kind of feel like the precedent is there. This is my new normal for at least the next couple of years. And so my kids are going to be getting a lot of practical coaster gifts.
I did put a couple of polls just up while you were talking. So sorry. Good. I always feel bad about the click-clacking in the background. I don't know how to.
That is a staple of this podcast.
That. So just in light of this conversation, is a coaster a gift? Should Evelyn seek emancipation after getting a coaster as a gift from Steve? And here's my idea. This is my problem solving for you because anybody can lay out the problem and say this is a problem. Yeah. I like to be the solver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
I like to give ideas. Yep. I like to help you make things smoother and better for you. So, Steve, here's what I think you should do. We talked about this not that long ago in reference to the night show you did here in town. I think you should put that on the rider. That Coasters? You need a sub $7 to $8 trinket for you to bring home to Evelyn.
Oh, that's perfect.
So you don't, so that way you are not caught up in, especially in a whirlwind trip, kind of like this one. But imagine this on one of the ones where you fly. Yeah. And you find out maybe it's too late, or the security line. You're already going to be sprinting to the airplane. You're not going to have time. Already solved. Lackey from the radio station you're visiting now has to go out to the crappy trinket shop down the road and get you.
No, I think what I need to do too is I have to specify that it's got to be a certain size.
Yes.
Because a lot of times I do not have the room if we're flying somewhere. So that's why I'm thinking keychain is perfect.
Yeah.
So next time we're there, I need a Portland, Maine keychain. Right. I'll just add it into the middle of the list of the rider of things that we need for like the night show or the morning show.
So it kind of sinks in so it's not standing out or anything. So they'll be
like, oh, this is kind of strange. I wonder what they're going to do with that. I don't know. And then I just right in my pocket and it never gets mentioned again. Right. And then if they, like the next week, they say like, hey, whatever happened to the keychain? I'd be like, oh, yeah, I thought we were going to use it, but we had to cut that bit out. I left it at the venue. Should be there. See ya.
Yeah. No, like in the middle of this rider now with a radio show that is in the dating world, number 3 is 4 boxes of condoms. Number 5 is 3 bottles of Grey Goose, in parentheses, no Costco substitutes.
Right. Yeah.
And then number 5, 6.
A subscription to Jugs magazine.
And then number 6, keychain for 3-year-old daughter of Steve.
No. Keychain to be used as part of the show.
That's right. A prop.
Yeah.
And then number 7, double-sided dildo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this is all regular stuff.
Steve, as we enter another year of the Steve and Kyle podcast means another year of presumed side gig live shows.
Oh, yeah, the calendar's filling up quick.
So we no announcements yet, but I'm assuming you guys will be on the road and in the air here soon on the private jet. Well, you won't be on the private jet. You'll be flying commercial.
Right, yeah, of course.
But the monkeys will be on the private jet headed to different locales.
Flinging feces from first class to first class, because that's all it is on the private jet.
And you're going to need to now up that grift on the rider from one trinket to two.
To two trinkets, that's right. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe instead of putting it on the rider, I can just have a go-to in every market that we go to.
Yeah.
Like a go-to listener who brings me the keychain.
Oh, listener. I was thinking radio station employee.
No. I don't want to put that on them. I'd rather have...
You'd rather have a person who wants to please you guys as a listener and fan of the show. Okay,
exactly.
Well, that's not abusive at all.
Take advantage of their fandom.
It's not abusive at all.
If you will. We have the number 2 baby here, Nikolai Baby Bulin.
That's right. The Bulin Wall.
Baby Bulin Wall, as you named him in this upcoming segment.
A few items of note that kind of got lost around the birth of your idiot box upstairs.
Oh, big dummy.
No offense.
No. I didn't hear him say he was offended.
And we were all, well, yeah, what's he going to do?
Poop my pants.
Oh, thanks, Nicky B. You got any nicknames for, by the way, before I get into what I wanted to talk about? Those kind of develop based on the name you give them and then how they act and what you start referring to them in baby voice. What have you been calling him around home?
Knick-knack.
Knick-knack,
Nicky B.
Paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
Yep. Nicky B. Just his actual given name, Nicholas, obviously. But it's been a weird thing because we always called Toby, our dog, Buster or Buddy. Like, that's just one of those, come here, buddy. Come here, Buster. And now that has transferred over to Nicky B. So he is now Buster.
That poor guy got a dog nickname. Let me throw one your way. Okay. And this is a real deep cut, but I like it.
So this is your suggestion.
This is my suggestion for your son's nickname.
Okay.
Because and I hope this lands with you because you used to have a working relationship with this organization. So the name is Nicholas. I would then go Nikolai, and in my mind, I'm going Nikolai Hobby Bulin.
Hobby Bulin, yeah.
The Bulin Wall.
Yeah, the goalie from...
the Sabres?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Nikolai Hobby Bulin.
Nikolai Hobby... Okay, it's a little lengthy.
No. You called him the Bulin Wall.
Oh, the Bulin Wall.
That was his nickname when he was a hockey player because he was, one, a good goalie, and two, the Berlin Wall. It was so long ago, the Berlin Wall had just come down.
So... we're going to eliminate the part of the nickname that actually relates to his name.
We're losing Nicholas. We're transferring that to Nikolai. We're cutting out Nikolai. We're just isolating Hobby Bulin. We're getting rid of Hobby, going Bulin, relating it to the Berlin Wall that came down in 1989. Bulin Wall, Baby Bulin Wall.
Baby Bulin Wall.
Huh?
I like it.
Huh?
The Bulin Wall.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It
might take a little bit of explaining.
Well, yeah, that's part of the fun. Because otherwise, everybody comes over, talks to you about the baby, and yada yada. How's he doing? Well, he's a baby. He poops and eats and goes to sleep.
He changes colors from day to day.
Yeah, you inevitably run out of conversation in 8 seconds. You slip in when you know they're listening, but you're not saying it to them. You say, "Oh, little Bulin Wall," and that spurs. What is that? And they say, "Oh, I'm glad you asked." In the 1990s, there was an NHL goalie named Nikolai Hobby Bulin, and he was a part of the Buffalo Sabres. Again, I think someone's going to be very mad if that's wrong. Right. I could Google it, but I don't want to. He was playing hockey shortly after the time that the Berlin Wall came down. So fans nicknamed him the Bulin Wall because he stopped all of the pucks.
Yeah, impenetrable force.
And then at least you've killed another 30 seconds. And more importantly, you've probably killed any possible relationship with this person asking you about him.
Man, I love it. I mean, Baby Bulin Wall. I can't wait to speak to him later today. Call him that.
I'll post that on the poll. Is that a good nickname? I think I nailed this one. I think this one's going to win.
Going to win what?
The poll. This is a competition, right? I wanted to ask, and we need to talk about, because you and I have had separate DIY projects over the last 3 to 4 weeks. Not DIY necessarily, but home construction projects. I came over here last week and was shocked.
Oh, yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah.
That out of the blue, it seemed, in the backyard, at that point, was a 30% built
maybe
play set.
Yeah. Yeah, we took the plunge. We had been talking about that for months.
I think the Boulin Wall's going to love it. Going to slide his dumb baby body right down the slide.
I had to think for a minute. Boulin Wall.
Oh, okay. Eventually it's going to become such.
I mean, Boulin, Nikolai. Oh, Nicholas.
I think every time I now refer to your baby, Nicholas, as the Boulin Wall, I think we should pause to let you catch up.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for me to.
And so you do the math. You do the running in your head.
The backward. Yeah, I'm like.
I figure 4 to 7 seconds we can just sit here and I'll let you go, and then you just give me either a thumbs up or a verbal cue and say got it, and then we can continue.
Oh, Nicholas.
I think we've come a long way. You don't need those few seconds of silence anymore. If I say Boulin Wall, you know immediately what I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about. It's obvious.
It's the idiot box upstairs.
Wait a minute. I didn't hear him say he was offended, so go ahead.
So I'm glad you're on board, and you finally come around. And you're right; it's a missed opportunity. We our friend Rusty has told us since then that we should have gone with, how was it phrased again properly?
A Nikolai Baby Boulin.
Nikolai Baby Boulin. But the time has passed. He is now forever known as the Boulin Wall.
The Baby Boulin Wall. Yeah. Now I wasn't the only one that had a big year this year. It was a year of firsts for me. Obviously, my second child was born, and you dug into something for the first time this year.
You hear that?
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You decided to let the beard grow a little bit.
That's right.
But you had some questions.
What do I need to do?
Okay.
Is there a time frame? Is there something I need to do effort-wise? Now, now listen. Katie bought me beard oil.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I was going to say beard oil, beard shampoo, and beard conditioner. Changed my life when I was a new beardsman, when I was a rookie beardsman.
I've got questions. Are you a guy that I could use as a beard father figure? A BFF, if you will?
You're going to call me the beard father?
Yes. So when I have a question, I will begin a message. Oh, beard father.
Dear beard father.
Because I don't really know how to trim this because I don't like it getting very long and bushy. Yeah. Not so much itchy. I don't love the way it looks. I feel like when I keep it trimmed above the Adam's apple, which I do, I start to get a real Amish flavor.
Okay, well, I mean, these are typical stupid, moronic rookie beardsman questions. I would expect nothing less.
Listen,
no offense.
Of course. I'm trying to be in the club.
Yeah.
So this is all part of the regular period.
Yeah, I think that, look, weekly, if not bi-weekly maintenance is required.
Okay, meaning?
The upper cheek has to be trimmed. You need a short razor so you can...
I trim twice a week.
Yep,
or I
shave
shave twice a week. I go under the chin.
Let's see. Let me look at... Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. I go a little bit higher.
Really?
Yeah. I go... I'll start with the jawline at the back.
Yeah.
And then it'll taper under
a
bit in the front.
Now, I'd be worried about that coming to a point. Like a real widow's peak on your neck.
Yeah, that's it's a bad look if you do that. But what I do is I start with the electric, trim that, and then I go back with the razor. But honestly, the amount of times that I put straight razor to neck, maybe 5 times a year. I just don't do, the electric one gets it close enough.
Let me, and this may be a little new school coming in to take all the old school stuff.
All right, so this is the Gen Z approach.
Yeah, I think you're an idiot for that.
For going
electric.
Okay.
At all. I have one. I don't even know if it turns on.
Well, that's how you get that's how you trim it.
Huh.
How have you been trimming it?
By trimming, you mean you use the electric razor with the it's got the 3 discs
Yeah, the little like a. Oh no! I'm talking electric, like
a clipper,
like
on the end.
hair clippers, but just a smaller like beard and mustache trimmer.
So, are you guessing? Are you going straight to skin on that trimmer, or are you just kind of shaving the top?
For the outline? Yeah, I'm going no attachment, getting it trimmed down to nothing. Doing the neck, above like the high cheeks.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want under eye beard.
No,
terrible look.
And then the back side of the neck.
Okay.
And then I will pop on, usually, I think for mine, it's a number 3 attachment.
So that's a 3-ish.
Yeah, but this trimmer, I've had many trimmers over the years, and this one is not comparable to any other trimmers I've had lengthwise.
So it's 3. This 3 might be an average 2.
Yeah, actually, no, I'm sorry. It's a 6. Because it's a double-sided guard. One way is 3, one way is 6.
I don't even know if a 6 would touch the top of your hair. A regular 6.
No, yeah, but this one, for this specific one, I use a 6. And that gets it to, I feel like that 6 on that trimmer is probably a 2 to 3 on the average trimmer.
Well, I'm glad I'm here at the knee of the Beard Father. Because recently I tried to use I have hair clippers because I buzz my head typically down to nothing. It's the same thing, isn't it?
It's the same thing to an idiot.
Well, yeah, because I put that on the beard, and it felt like a raccoon chewing my face. Yeah, it hurt like hell.
It's too high power. Too high power.
So I need a specific beard trimmer.
Okay. I'll take care of you. Don't worry.
Is that what you're telling me? I need a specific beard trimmer? Okay.
You do.
I'm going to the store today.
You do.
I'm going to try to do it. I want to get the Beard Club.
You got to get the nose hair trimmer too.
Sometimes I've got the one with the little. I have it's very small, and it's got one end. It has like a mini, like a regular clipper. No, and then on the other,
you got to go the cylinder one that you just.
Yeah, that's for the nose. I have like 2 attachments. So one is the little spinning disc that goes in there and really roots out your nose,
like immediately makes your eyes water.
By the way, this is just you and I here, right? Just a couple of guys
looking around, making sure. Yeah, nobody under the table.
Boy, the one thing I didn't understand about aging is like the ear hair.
Oh my god! Right on that,
right there. It's right there.
That little nub.
Never been more terrified when I'm trying to trim that.
Oh,
because I'm thinking this is it. I'm going to cut it, and then for some reason, I know that's not how it works. I'm not going to be able to hear anymore.
That's how. That was one of those signs of aging that I realized when I would go to get my hair cut, and they would say, "You want me to trim up the ears and the eyebrows?"
Because in my mind, when they say, "Well, I'm going to trim up the ears," I'm assuming the hair on top of the ears that might be like touching the top of the ear. Like, yeah, hit it. And then if they start digging in my ear, that would be shocking and embarrassing.
Yeah. So you're getting older, eh? But look, if you have any more questions for the Beard Father,
I'm glad you're here for me. You've been very welcoming, and that's what I needed here. As I've been on this journey for a while, I'm glad you accepted how upset I was.
Look, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail 100 times. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Maybe we can post a picture. I don't know. Maybe today. I've shaved it relatively. I trimmed underneath a couple of days ago. And say, is this worthy of being in the Beard Club? And we could post that on the poll.
I wouldn't post that. As the Beard Father, I cannot grant permission for that.
The Beard Father also runs Beard Twitter.
So, do you ever have the urge to just go full on crazy?
I don't want to let it get very long to where it's, down to your chest type of thing. That doesn't interest me. I've always wanted a nice contained one. But even now, it's been very hot. I'd be lying if I did tell you I thought about getting rid of it again. Because a little bit, not bad itchy, but it's still there. You can feel it, especially when it's hot. And makes me want to lose it all. I don't know if that is an admission that can get me removed from Beard Club admission.
Or not helping. Not helping at all.
Or if I'm still in contention. Maybe if there's any other beard stepfathers out there in our
in our social media following, if they'd be willing to chime in and they could then judge my beard efforts, I'll DM them. Because like you said, I don't want to embarrass beard Twitter and beard social media. I will just DM them the beard.
Sure.
And they can then judge.
Yeah, they can critique
what I need to do, changes they would make.
Yeah.
Because I'm limited. I think, here's what I'll say though, and this is the only moment of self-confidence you'll get out of me regarding anything relating to this appearance. When I shave the head down to the half, which is pretty much your scalp with just a little hairline, and I've got the beard trimmed down to where it's not too scraggly, but freshly shaved above the Adam's apple and down the cheek, I think that's the best look for me.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we can do something where you go clean shaven.
Okay.
And then let it grow back, and like every week before you come over here, make sure it's all nice and trimmed up.
Okay.
Good.
So it's like Friday night or Saturday, whatever night it is, that's the shave trim night, and we can chart the growth.
And what we'll do is we'll post a picture each week. We'll try and have the same exact lighting, same background, and everything.
Yeah.
So the only difference is going to be your beard.
My beard.
And then post it each week.
Yeah.
And then maybe after like 6 weeks, we say, which is the best one?
Yeah. Is there an option here that you would choose, or are you repulsed by all of them?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine that any comments will make you feel bad about yourself.
No. Listen, we can get this started next week. I think next week I'll show up here clean shaven.
Okay.
And we'll begin this process.
I mean, I may not look you directly in the eye.
Well,
because
I mean,
the beard father doesn't acknowledge the unbearded.
It's happened before, and you literally never notice it. So now it makes sense.
So basically, nothing will change.
Well, another one for the list, Steve. We have not heard from the beard father.
Yeah, why did we stop that? We haven't heard from him in a while.
Maybe we've got answers from the beard father. Maybe we've got answers from Steve. You separate people who did not continue on the journey through the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh boy.
Maybe we've got answers from both of us who didn't do the Dizzy Bat race we were going to do in April. Maybe.
Well, I know that the beard father, he had a pretty busy year. I know his daughter got married.
I got to tell you, and that broad, she's got a lot of weddings. But listen, that's what we do around here, Steve. We innovate.
We do innovate.
And then we forget.
We completely forget in most cases. In this case, I haven't forgotten. I'm still waiting to talk to my patent attorney because about towards the end of the year, around sometime in the fall, we were innovating the barf game.
A little over a week ago, before we had left on our little vacation, Katie and I, we put Reed to bed, normal time, a little after 12 a.m., he opened his door, and when you're dead asleep, that sound still startles me awake. Sure. Just the sound of the tunk, the door, opening, and then you hear the pitter patter of feet. And it was a night of, I think it was raining and thunder and stuff. So I thought maybe that's why he got up.
Yeah.
And he said, "Can you lay with me?" Which is usually his thing. Like, "Hey, I woke up from this. Can you help put me back to sleep?" So Katie gets up.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah. Well, there's an unofficial deal in our house because I get up with one or both of our dogs, typically anywhere between 1 and 3 times a night, every night.
Sounds awful.
So if and when Reed gets up, which is incredibly rare in the middle of the night, Katie gets up with him. Mm-hmm. So she got up with Reed, went to lay in bed with him, and it was maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. And so I was just back to sleep, really. He was having some coughing issues anyway. He had heard a couple coughs, and I hear Katie go, "Hey, Kyle, can you come in here?" Okay. I stand up and I go out there, and she says, "Can you come take him? He just threw up everywhere on the bed." And he wasn't done.
Oh, okay. So there was a round 2.
It was still coming out. And to his credit, this kid handled it like a champ. No, I mean, granted, it was also about 1 a.m.
So he rallied? He puked? Did he do another shot right after that?
Yeah. Yeah, so I poured this kid another...
I mean, that's the only way to keep going. You rally.
There was no outburst.
Yeah.
No,
You could tell he's upset because it's scary to kids.
Yeah, of course.
It feels really weird.
Yeah.
Their stomach and then all of that.
And that's something they've only experienced a handful of times in their life. Probably don't remember it really at all.
Right, and he wasn't exactly getting ready to go into Six Flags to go ride the hot new coaster.
Exactly. Like there are certain things where like you expect it.
He may have assumed he would be better off if, in fact, he were on his way to ride the newest coaster.
Yeah.
But in this regard, he did not because, well, it was bedtime. So I try to get him out of bed. You know, obviously at that point, you're trying to figure out what do we do with this quantity of stuff.
At that point, you're all about containing the disaster.
Yeah.
You know, like do you scoop up? Do you just take all the sheets, roll them up into a pile from right into the washing machine, turn it on the most soiled setting ever.
Yep, and say, I hope it's not too chunky to get filtered through.
No, I don't even worry about that. That's what that machine is for.
So I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. We didn't know if he was done, so I took his shirt off and we went and sat on a little stool in the bathtub, and he's shivering. He wants me to turn the water on, so there we are at 12:50. And I've got hot water.
Kind of taking a bath.
Yeah. And so we let that roll over his feet, and he's sitting there just silent, just eyes open, staring around. And I said, are you okay? You okay? And to his credit, totally fine.
Yeah.
Katie laid with him because, again, that's the deal. Yep. For another however long after we cleaned it all up, changed all his sheets. So, you know, you're at that point, you're wide awake. Because the light, you can't really do that. I try to do so much of parenting and life at that time of day in the dark to not totally upset the apple. I feel like once a light switch goes on, that changes the wake up. It changes it from like, hey, it's a quick bathroom break, or hey, it's a quick, I need a drink of water, to now, hey, this is an official interruption of the schedule.
You couldn't be more accurate on that. I have found the exact same thing. If the lights are on, it's like literally a switch is flipped, but in their brain where they're like, all right, I am 100% awake now. It is daytime.
Yeah.
But if you keep those lights as dim as possible, your eyes don't really open.
Yeah.
You can kind of get them back to sleep somewhat quickly.
But this is one of those where you can't do it in the dark.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to go sit in the bathroom if he has to vomit more. And it's really hard to even imply to a kid, hey, hang your head over the spot you poop
right.
if you have to vomit again.
That is a really weird thing that we as the human race have started, like, have done.
Yeah, but I mean, when you think about it.
You know something?
You're going to change it up? Are you about to innovate the vomit game?
What about a second toilet specifically for vomiting?
Okay.
So you never do your other business
right
in that one.
It's a vomit toilet only.
Maybe it has...
Or a vomit hole. Because I feel like having a full plumbed toilet is a waste for how infrequently most people vomit.
Okay. Hear me out on this.
Yep.
When you go to get your haircut, which I know, again, sorry, maybe a sensitive subject for you.
You know, I've been in a haircut place. Okay, actually, I think I told you this story a while ago. I paid for a haircut like less than a year ago.
Did they just laugh at you?
I said, just hit it with a half all the way around. And it took entirely too long.
You just take out the scissors and go, snip.
I was reminded why I don't go. Because of how long this thing took for so little maintenance.
Okay. Now, you may not remember this because it may have been a long time since you've...
listen, let's get to the story. We get it, okay?
Due to the fact that you are...
What does it look like in there?
Follically deficient.
Were you sitting in a pool? How do these places work?
Can you fly?
Do you have to take off all your clothes?
All right, you know the sinks that they have there?
Yeah, that with the little scooped out.
The little cutout.
Yeah.
Well, the cutout is perfect for, the back of your neck to rest in there, meaning it's also perfect for the front of your neck to rest in there.
All right. So a guillotine sink.
Maybe a low-down barf sink. So at about the same height as the toilet. Although, you know something? No. Scratch that. I want it higher than the average sink, so I can just stand there.
I feel like
because I don't like having to sit down,
right?
Kneel down on the floor to barf. It's like, I don't know. It just makes you feel like you're even more pathetic than you really are.
But is it like the squatty potty where that position's really going to help you retch properly?
I don't know. I feel like I probably do better barfing standing up.
You think a standing vomit or retch is more efficient than a sitting or kneeling vomit or retch?
Efficient? I don't know. Level of comfort for me, yes. I'm definitely more comfortable barfing in a standing position.
I don't know that I've ever vomited standing. Well, I'm sure I have one of those where I don't fully remember it, you know.
Well, I know for a fact that I did at Six Flags that day because it was an amusement park bathroom. There's no way that I'm kneeling down on the floor hugging the bowl. I didn't touch that toilet. That was the most efficient barf I've ever had. Shirt off, shirt back on.
Listen, I think there's still video out there. I did not believe you.
Yeah.
That you could get your shirt off that quickly. Like a ninja on this podcast, you showed me. I think it was less than a second and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got the shirt off. So I am not here to doubt who I consider to be the vomit master in this podcast.
Thank you. Can't be said enough. Barf master is...
vomit master.
Yeah, of course. Vomit master. I mean, barf master if I'm just amongst friends.
Right.
Vomit master when I'm in a professional setting.
Vomit mister, by the way.
Vomit mister?
Vomit mister. Just like Postmaster General?
Yeah, General Postmaster.
General Postmaster.
Yeah.
Vomit mister. Vomit mister. Mr. Vomit.
Now, while we do spend a lot of our time innovating on this podcast, we're also hard stance traditionalists in many senses.
And nothing says hard stance traditionalist like dying with your organs in your body and refusing to give them up.
Am I alone in that I don't really care what happens to my body after I die? Because I'm dead. I'm not using it anymore.
For a while, and I've kind of come around on it. I don't know why. This is a weird, hard-nosed stance I've made, and that's pretty out of the norm for me.
No, yeah, definitely. I would not expect you to be the one to take a hard stance on anything. I mean, you're as fluid as they come. Hey, loosey-goosey Kyle, that's what they call you.
Listen, they call me the lazy river.
Half of that's true.
I go with the flow. Not much is going to upset the apple cart in my land.
Nope. There is one thing to be said about you, and it's that you don't have a care in the world about certain things. You don't have opinions on most things.
Thank you. It can't be said enough.
Just do your thing and hope that others do the same.
I like to take a hands-off approach to most things. But for some reason, for a long time, I've had this idea that not only when I inevitably find the 5-galloner, punt it across a room, not only do I not want to donate my organs,
okay,
I want them with me in the dirt.
Okay, so
the way I see it, they're mine.
Sure,
you don't need to. What's the difference if they stay in my body in the casket, or if they, end up in the garbage bin at the, mortician or the morgue, right? And I'm not giving them to, I don't need my family going down being like, hey, that's, little Jimmy who got, Kyle's liver.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's obvious that they're not taking your heart.
No, that thing cannot be passed off to anyone.
No.
That's like if you woke up one morning with the 666 on seared into your arm. That's a bad omen.
It's the equivalent of the square spare tire.
Yeah.
It'll get you there.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be a smooth ride.
They would give it to a 75-year-old who only had like a year left anyway.
Right. And this may give you another month or so on top of that.
Yeah. And the way I see it, I mean, they're not giving these eyeballs. Can you imagine giving somebody new eyes? Like, I can see, but it's all blurry, so I need glasses anyway.
Okay, so you want to be buried with, in your entirety.
Yeah.
You don't want your body touched. You don't want anything taken out.
I'd prefer not.
What about just as an FU to everybody, maybe they take out your heart, take out your liver, take out your eyeballs, and you're actually holding them in your casket.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Just to show people this is what you ain't getting.
I kind of like that. You know, I'm a big Halloween fan. I'd almost be like a haunted corpse.
I mean, that would be spooky.
Yeah. I don't hate that idea. Or maybe, I could go with the age-old, I forget where the story started. You could bury me face down so you can all kiss my ass.
Whoa. Language.
I've kind of come around on it, but boy, now that you mention it, that's not a bad idea. What of you?
Yeah.
Okay? Internal, maybe, let's say for impractical purposes, external, fine. What is the thing on you that your dying breaths, you signed all the documents, I'm happy to donate to some lesser off physical body, right?
Yeah.
Organ-wise, appearance-wise, what is it that you want to donate to somebody less fortunate? And I'm saying let's toss a little bit of the science minutia out the window here.
Okay, so it like barring any of the basically, so let's just say that anything's possible.
Yeah. So I don't want to limit it to say, well, I think I've got a good kidney.
Yeah,
that's boring.
I want to give somebody my brain.
Really?
Because I think that means that I'll get to I'll still be in there.
You'd want to saddle someone with that, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, it's completely selfish because then I'll be able to come back and control it.
Right. Huh. Okay, so you want now a hostile, deceased artificial intelligence takeover of another body.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it needs to be like a young person.
I wanted to note that this discussion started in a good place. Where I believe I mentioned
in a good place where you
mentioned a generous place
where you the conversation actually started with you being making one of the most selfish proclamations I've ever heard.
Hey, listen, I told you, Steve. I told you that I've come around. Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You're an organ donor.
Yes. I've come around a little bit to the idea, but I don't know that. You know what that is? TBD. Because I think the next time I renew that license, it's going to be a real heart-to-heart with myself.
Or just to you always have a black Sharpie close by so you can go.
Yeah, can I withdraw my organ donation?
Yeah, you just have to initial it.
So you got a Sharpie I can initial next to this and say KP and then dash no.
I signed this under duress.
Imagine your final legacy. Bad car accident. They make it to the hospital. You're barely awake.
Yeah.
And nobody's in the room because they're really medically trying to save you. And you just grab the doctor's arm. Doc, you can't have my organs. And then you die. So they go out to report to your family, hey, he didn't make it.
Do they have to?
He also made it pretty clear to me to not take his organs. Do we have to acknowledge the organ donation on the driver's license? Or do we follow his last wishes?
Yeah, I think that they're going to follow your what was said on your license because they could make the claim.
Boy, that's crap.
They could make the claim though that you were in shock or something like that.
That's not notarized, Steve. Okay? It's a few extra dots of ink on a license that I renew once every 5 years.
You sign your license, don't you? It's a legally binding document.
So you're telling me I have to wait now, however many years, until I renew that or get a new license?
I mean, you could go there and just
to tell the state you can't have my kidneys.
Did you ever update your license or get that don't take my organs document notarized that you were talking about?
There's a time and place for everything, Steve. I've been in constant contact with my local representative, and I am simply waiting for my time to renew my license. And again, I don't want it on my license. I want this as when you have a temporary one, an additional document stapled that when, the paramedics or the police or whoever pulls my lifeless corpse from the wreck, they see and they first thing they'll do, pull my wallet out.
Yeah.
And they'll look at my license and say, oh, it's Kyle. Don't touch his organs. Very clearly.
So you want something that draws more attention to the fact that you're not an organ donor.
Correct.
Than that you are an organ.
Yeah, I want everybody to know, again, pulling my lifeless corpse from a car wreck or wherever, to not touch my organs at all. And that means all the way to the ground. I don't want my organs taken out and thrown away. No. I'm taking them with me into the ground 6 feet under.
Selfless. Absolutely selfless of you. I'm surprised that you found a special lady in your life that, tolerates you in any way whatsoever.
Thank you. Can't be said enough. One thing we do love to do around here, Steve, is reminisce. And boy, oh boy, do we have some tales that, well, at least for us, are funny, and at least for us bring back fun memories. And most of them I had forgotten, but there was a period of time where the both of us were just a couple of wild single cats out on the town every weekend.
Randomly, I thought of a time, because there was, after I broke up with my previous girlfriend, before I met Annette, there was about an 8 or 9 month period in there where I was single. I was tomcatting around.
Yep, you're singling and mingling.
On the prowl. And I remember you and I were at a bar. Might have been after a hockey game.
The city still quakes in its memories of the time Steve was singling and mingling, by the way.
Oh, yeah, boy. They'll be talking about that forever. I do remember concocting a plan.
Okay.
That somehow worked. We were sitting at a table. We were sitting at a booth. Trying a couple of beverages. Big boy soda pops. And there was a filly that caught my eye.
Jesus Christ.
Is that not what people say?
Whew. At a horse track?
So we came up with this brilliant plan that instead of walking over and saying hello and having a conversation, no. Instead, I would write my phone number on a piece of paper.
This is all new. I don't remember this
whatsoever. And as we walked out, you threw it at them. Do you remember that now?
I do. I feel like the term throw.
I'm still there, by the way. I remember exactly where we were sitting.
Mm-hmm.
The booth that we were sitting.
Do you remember? Can you give me the initials of the bar or restaurant? Because I don't remember.
I'll tell you exactly. It was Grand Rapids Brewing Company.
Okay. No, yeah. I remember being there. I don't remember this exact scenario. And I don't remember this precise filly that you referenced.
Oh, I couldn't. If she walked in this room right now, I wouldn't know it was her. But yeah, I remember. I was like, "Hey, throw this at them," figuring you'd just kind of toss it over. But I still remember you like. I mean, this is probably when you were in prime softball days, so you were winding up for the pitch.
Yeah, I was obviously getting loose before I went out to the bar, so I'd put on my elbow compression sleeve like an old man and loosen up the tendons so I could pitch a crumbled up piece of paper at a table of a couple of fillies.
Yeah, and I remember getting a text, I think, the next day.
You did?
Yeah, I got a text from an unknown phone number, and it just said, "Why did you throw this at me?" I was like, no, that was not me.
I told my friend not to. I begged him not to, and he was so just inebriatedly drunk. He definitely did not understand what we needed and just whipped it like a buffoon.
Yeah, it's a wonder that didn't work out.
So that conversation didn't catch on.
I believe we
didn't meet for drinks or anything.
No. I think we texted a couple times, but it was clear that it was going nowhere.
Do you think that I had muddied or soured the?
I think so.
The start of that.
Yeah, you killed it before it even had a chance to blossom into a relationship.
I can only apologize, and again, hopefully next time at the track is a little better for you.
Boy, we can only wonder what would have or could have been if that had gone any better than it did.
Any different.
Yeah, so maybe if I had actually spoken to said filly instead of having you, my wingman, throw my phone number at her.
Boy, the life's trajectory, the way it could have gone. Steve, I see here we are at the end of the line.
We are.
And there is no better way to wrap this year in review up than to give what I think is one of the more recent updates, or the most recent substantial update around the longest simmering project this podcast has had to endure. And that is your reconstruction of a 1988 Jeep Comanche Pioneer.
Pioneer, that's right.
With the 4 tires, the 2 doors, and the 4 to 6 different colors. I was thrilled at this final update.
So we're prepping for a big day here at the Steve and Kyle podcast. We don't get out into the public often. I'm
so nervous.
We don't shake hands and kiss babies very often, or kiss hands and shake babies, whatever you want to say. Mm-hmm. But we're doing that in just a matter of weeks.
I'm so nervous.
Should we? I mean, we need to talk about. I need to know what your feeling was when on Monday, which was Halloween, you received a text from me. Mm-hmm. Very cryptic.
Yeah.
I need to know, were you excited? Did you jump out of your chair? Did you say, "Ha, it's happening"? What were the thoughts that were running through your mind when I sent you the cryptic text that we had talked about for months, that I said I was going to send when I was on my way to your house behind the wheel of a 1988 Jeep Comanche Pioneer? Mm-hmm. Were you shocked that literally rubber had finally met the road?
No, I wasn't shocked, and I think not that you would let anything leak, but there's a video from a few weeks ago or a month ago at this point on the Second Chance Jeeps page, which again I don't follow, not a fan.
No.
Of you driving it around, sitting on a bucket, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was months ago.
Okay,
that was early in the summer, I think, maybe June.
And you had either told me or insinuated, or I had known that this thing was, at the bare minimum, semi-operational.
Yeah.
Okay. But was I still a bit shocked because we were mid-conversation about maybe even parade prep or something else?
About something else.
And you had sent you shot the flare into the sky.
Yeah, I forget what the exact.
I believe it was something Foxtrot Nightwing.
Tango Foxtrot Nightwing.
That might have been it. And
so what were you honestly doing? So you were sitting at.
I was working. I was in the basement.
House, right?
Yep, sitting working away in the basement.
Deny.
Yep, telling people sorry about your luck. Better luck next time. And I got that text, and I had to go bring some trash out to the trash can. So I thought, at that point, I did not think it was legitimate. So I walk upstairs. I bring the trash out to the trash can. I have my slippers on because it gets a little cold in the basement, down in the trenches.
Yeah. I mean, when was the last time you actually left your house to work?
Oof. Don't wish that ill on me. And almost like a familiar noise will wake you from a dream or sleep.
Yeah.
A lot of, for parents and for
kid crying,
pet
dog
owners,
barking.
it's the dog. Mm-hmm. Like for me, it's the dog, the noise of a dog vomiting, right? And you hear that first, that guttural, and boom.
That'll wake the dead.
You can tell it from a mile away. Mm-hmm. It was very reminiscent of that as I heard a very loud rumble somewhere in my neighborhood. Now I live on a circle area, not a cul-de-sac, but my exact neighborhood. I'm not invited.
Hey, one of us here lives on a Zac.
But my subdivision is very large, much like yours. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know which direction it was coming from.
Mine's better, by the way.
So
much richer.
Listen, we talked about the gate, the butler.
I just don't want there to be any confusion.
Of course.
I really don't like your comparison of your neighborhood to my neighborhood in any way.
I put my nose to the sky. I thought, that's a 1988 Jeep Comanche in my neighborhood.
As you no doubt hear backfiring and squeaking.
So you rolled around the corner, pulled into the driveway, and there she was.
Pulled into the driveway, fingers crossed, hoping against hope that the brakes still worked. They hadn't gone out in the last half mile.
You pull in, and there's still a tire in the back with, either a I don't even know what you call those
That's
things.
permanent, by the way.
That's just there?
That is where the spare tire mounts.
Okay.
There's a spare tire mounted in the bed. Look.
Those Jeeps sure know how to make them look attractive.
I could... that's not from the factory. That's an upgrade.
Oh!
Well, normally the spare tire is underneath the bed.
Okay. Seems like a better option.
Mine won't fit. So it's either no spare tire or a spare tire in the bed, which is okay because I'm kind of going for the pre-runner look, of course. Yeah, I mean, I've discussed this with you numerous times.
A loose spare tire in the back.
That's not loose. It's bolted down. Bolted down.
And you pulled into the driveway, and I popped the door open, got in, and we took a spin.
We did.
Just around the neighborhood. From my vantage point, no issues.
Yeah, I mean, making a little bit of noise. It is in general, a very loud vehicle. It's this is what those of us in the truck community and the vehicle community would call a shakedown run.
Okay.
You take it for a spin and just kind of see if all the nuts and bolts are tightened, which the day before I had done the same thing, and all of the nuts and bolts were not tightened. I got one house away from my house, and it was really groaning at me. Pulled it back into the garage.
I just can't believe we're still there.
Pulled it back into the garage. Now, there are 5 lug nuts per wheel.
Okay.
Total of 20 lug nuts, right? But the wheels...
My math adds up, yeah.
The wheels have spacers behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Those basically have 5 lug nuts each as well. So total, 40 lug nuts on the entire vehicle. Of the 40 lug nuts, more than 35 of them were loose.
Oh, my God. Is this just a byproduct of it not being out very much?
No, this is a byproduct of when I was putting the whole thing together. I tightened everything down kind of hand tight because at that point the brakes didn't work. I needed the brakes in order to keep the wheels from spinning when I was tightening the lug nuts, but brakes don't work, can't tighten the lug nuts. Then I just forgot about it. So tightened up all 40 of the lug nuts again, and now we're good. So yeah, I came barreling around the corner at your house.
That does not fill me with confidence.
Pulled up into the driveway. Big grin on your face. I wish I had been recording. You had a big grin on your face.
I couldn't believe it.
Could not believe it.
I hopped in for all intents and purposes of what I care about this thing for, which is it needs to go 2 miles per hour for approximately 1 hour. Mm-hmm. It seems like it can get there, which I don't know if that's an endorsement 2 weeks out.
Look, since you've been in it, that was almost a week ago, 5 days ago, there have been numerous updates since then.
Okay. Can I ask you if there's been a certain update?
You can ask me about anything you want.
Does it still stink horribly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one might be a bit of a long-term fix.
Okay, can you pinpoint, because we got done with the ride, it was joyous, it was like a little mini endorphin rush because
look, we were waving to the fans.
There were people on the driveways, okay, and I don't know if they were getting their mail or wondering what the racket was.
They were ducking because it sounded like the town was being shelled by enemy fire.
Yeah. And we make it back, and we're on a high because at that point, parade is less than 3 weeks away at that point.
Yeah. I saw you recorded a bunch of videos.
I did.
You peppered the social media with them.
Yes, because this is exciting stuff. Not just for me, for you, for the progress of the Comanche.
Whole Steve and Kyle / Second Chance Jeeps family.
Because this is it. This is the last big thing we do.
Agreed, yeah.
I don't have any desire anymore until the next parade. Or until the next half-cocked idea. Yeah. And you drop me off, take a quick video, you backing out and peeling out of town.
Peeling out is that's being generous.
I would argue you were on 2 tires at one point, 2 wheels.
Oh, so I was doing a wheelie.
Yeah, that's how hard you ripped out of the hood.
Okay.
And I went inside, and I don't even know if I had a coat on or a sweatshirt. Went inside, took it off, went back downstairs to work, And what I thought was just a quick linger ended up being a mainstay on my body and clothes for hours. And it was the pure, unbridled, unfiltered stink of gasoline in my body.
Yeah, exhaust.
It was horrid.
Yeah.
Is there a concern that, because I told you in the car without thinking, boy, feel bad for whoever's behind us. And then you texted me like 20 minutes later and said, oh, just FYI, we're the ones behind.
Right, we're riding in a trailer.
And it was like the light bulb just got flicked on in my brain. I said, oh, crap, that is us. Right. Is there a risk that you and I are going to be recording and I'm going to look over while I'm mid-monologue about what, the 1970s Houston Rockets, and you're passed out?
I mean, look, there's
not from boredom.
There's always a possibility. I might have a fix for that. Would it be fixing it like correctly?
Yeah.
No.
Can you just like put a tube back into the cab?
I don't think that we want to kill the person.
No, we'll leave all those windows open. It's just like an extra.
Okay. It's like another filter.
Absolutely. Further away from us, which is the main goal here. And the audience will get a little bit of the feel.
What I was thinking is because the tailpipe kind of comes out the side at the back of the vehicle. Well, we're going to be right behind that. Maybe I just get a piece of exhaust pipe that's like 10 or 12 feet long. So the tailpipe comes out the side, but it just keeps going.
Okay. So, like, almost like I'm trying to figure out one of those bars that would essentially, like a street sweeper.
Yeah.
To the audience, we'd be pumping exhaust directly into the kids' candy.
I mean, we could go up
bags.
if you want. Maybe we go up so it's like a smokestack.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I have no idea if that would be street legal.
But hey, she's on the road.
Probably a good thing that the triumph of that day is more in our brain than the reality of weeks later where we didn't have a parade to drive through.
No, parade canceled.
And for the good of all parade entrants, as just days later, you texted me in a panic because I needed to follow you to an auto body shop. Because earlier in the day, that same Jeep Comanche, Steve, had a gas leak where it almost caught on fire.
Massive gas leak. Pulled in the driveway. Smoke rolling out from under the hood.
How's it doing now?
It's good.
Gas leak all fixed?
Gas leak is all fixed.
Wheels pointed straight?
Wheels are pointed straighter.
And there is no better sign for the future of this podcast heading into 2023 than those four wheels pointing forward.
That's right. We're always facing forward on this podcast, never looking back.
So for 2023, just to do a quick rundown here as we get out of here, we need to have a slide off, reminiscent of a Dizzy Bat Race slide into second base.
Got it.
You need to finish the journey into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No problem.
We need to get going on our planning to broadcast from the Olympics. You need to build a knock hockey table.
Boy, a lot of these I think I can knock out pretty quick.
You need to update the rider for the side gig to give you 2 crappy trinkets for both your kids. We need to see what the Beard Father's been doing in lieu of his daughter's weddings.
Well, he had a busy couple months.
We need to build the new barf sink or barf toilet. I need to update my documentation to show that I want to be buried with my organs.
Yeah.
And we somehow still need to get that Comanche operational.
Well, 2023, it's a whole new year.
Other than that, it's been a fruitful year.
Other than that, we have basically succeeded on everything that we have set out to accomplish.
Thank you to everybody who listened this year and has continued to listen into 2023. I know listening audience has changed, especially for podcasts, which can become interchangeable. Lucky for us, though, Steve, you and I are the only 2 middle-aged white guys who have nothing to talk about who have their very own podcast.
Well, I mean, we have big opinions. And we have to let them be known. But yeah, we appreciate you listening, whether it's at work or when you're at home or whatever you're doing, no matter how you're listening. We greatly appreciate it. And we look forward to bringing you more of whatever this is in 2023. But in the meantime, please stay and enjoy the fire.